Sucking on my own dick. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks.
Like, that's okay. If they can hear, Brendan,
They can hear this.
This is a very special episode
And why is that?
because this is the episode where you learn about where to get the fun juice from your parents' liquor cabinet. Okay. If any, I want to tell you something. If any children are watching the show, and there better be children watching the show, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you my email address. Go into mommy's drawer, look for her purse, pull out the heaviest credit card you can find, and email me the number.
So this is
And the code on the back.
we're back with Kevin Tinkin. This is part 2 of the earlier ep, and Nick is just completely hammered right now.
I'm having a great time.
He's feeling good. He's feeling free. He's getting credit card fraud going.
It
feels
if
good.
If you're 8 and you have questionable morals, email me your parents' financial information.
Yeah. Do you think there are any 8-year-olds that subscribe to the Patreon? Like they go to Walmart and they buy a Patreon gift card because they don't have a bank account?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I always thought like you could just, if you just find one person that has like multi-millionaire dead parents, they're just like, come on, just give me like $100,000.
Yeah.
Come on.
Be my benefactor.
No, because those people are like, I earned my money. Why would I give it to you?
True. I'm waiting to find one rich person who's just like, yo, have this.
Yeah.
Buy all the Nintendo Switches that you want.
One rich person that just writes you a blank check and just goes, do what you want to do.
Do what you
You
want.
ever think about how
love.
what the smallest amount of money that would change your life would be?
$7,000.
Well, like if someone gave me $7,000, I would like breathe so easy.
Dude, I used to say back when I was like literally, when I was a swindler and a vagrant, I was like, I swear to God, if somebody will just give me $10,000, I will live forever.
Dude, my buddy was telling me about something like that where he's like, yeah, I saved up my money and I worked for like 10 years, dude. I saved my money. And then like, I was like, I'll move to LA and like, I'll try to make it. And like, and then the money, like it lasted me for like 2.5 years.
And then you show up and they're like, ew, old.
Yeah. Well, then
Should have moved here at 17.
I'll tell somebody and they'll be, I remember this particular person was like, I go, how much did you save up? He goes, $7,000. I go, wait, what?
It lasted you for 2.5 years?
2.5 years.
Holy
Yeah.
shit, dude.
It was insane. I was like, this is the most frugal man alive.
I'll tell you what, he's buying double fudge cookies at Food for Less.
100%.
Making them last for a week.
That's the way to do it.
That's
Stretch
what you
your dollar.
have to do. Dude, I used to do this when I
This is
moved
what,
here.
your diet used to be only desserts.
When I moved here, I talked about it like it was a life hack. I had this roommate, Sean Preston, and I would go to the grocery store with him, and he'd be like, dude, I'll buy your food. And I was like, no, man. I would get a 59-cent bag of ciabatta bread, and he'd be like, is that all you're getting? I'd be like, this is all you need for 2 weeks, dude.
Well, yeah.
And I would just eat ciabatta bread with butter on it and be like, I'm nourished.
Yeah.
It was insane.
It works. It gets the job done,
Dude,
I want to get to the point where I'm eating like Kingdom Come Deliverance, where there's just scattered around my day are various boiling pots of stew. And I just stop and hit E. I eat it, and then my hunger meter goes back to 0.
I mean, I will tell you, I was dating. When we were living in the house, I was dating a girl who was a biomedical engineering major at USC, and I had her over at the house.
So they don't know anything about nutrition.
Damn, yeah, there's no way. I had her over at the house to fuck her on my air mattress that would deflate as we were fucking, and also there was a bunch of cat shit like buried under the Super Nintendo cartridges.
God.
But I've been living in it, so I couldn't smell it. It's like if you work with cows, you stop smelling cows. God bless this woman, right? So and she came over to my house, and I was like, "Do you want something to eat?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of hungry." And I was like, "Just wait, I've got just the thing." And I went, and it was this is how you know I liked her, because I used my entire stock of ciabatta rolls for the week.
God.
Cut them in half, put butter on them, cooked them in a toaster oven, and I brought her out a plate of assorted buttered ciabatta rolls, like I had done her a huge favor.
Now may I fuck you on my inflatable air mattress now? Dude, what a fucking. I mean, those are the stories. That's the good.
It
one.
was. The
You must
happiest-
fuck well.
I do.
You have to.
Can I tell you? I get a lot of very good reviews.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, positive reviews. Speaking of reviews, make sure you go to the iTunes.
Yes. If leave a review of how good I fucked you. If I fucked you and you listen to this podcast, please leave me a review.
Please.
If we could get 35-star reviews just from women that I fucked.
That's got to be out there. That app has to be out
Oh,
there.
total. Oh, it's coming.
Like,
Yeah.
something like
If you are a woman who I have fucked, please don't leave a review
that. Yeah. My wife.
Of the
One star.
of the podcast or my dick.
One review.
Yeah. I don't know. I used to get girls like would always say like 2 nice things about my dick to the point where I'm like, oh well, it has to be bad,
Right. They're
because I
coming
know
up with
it's not
creative ways to
it's not
compliment it.
that, or no, they just be like, whoa, it's so big, and I'm like, well, it's not. I thought it was medium sized, so I guess it's really small.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than being told you have a nice penis. Nice. I mean, that's not.
Oh, your penis, super great. Oh yes.
I love the color of it.
I've
And
never seen a penis this huge before.
your dick is-
Iridescent, I would call it.
it's so smooth is what I love about it. Is that they're like, what about the size? Like, well, it's smooth though.
It's
It's so smooth.
I had a girl claim at the beginning of a relationship that my dick was smooth, but then as it went along, she was like, "Your dick isn't smooth anymore," which I think means that her pussy did something
It's
to
like,
it.
bitch, that means that you have a rotten pussy.
Yeah.
What is she like,
I've
uric acid?
That
described
doesn't make
her-
any sense because even when you put rocks in a tumbler, they become more smooth.
Yeah.
So what the hell was her pussy doing?
I
It's
don't
probably
know.
acidic. She's probably like drinking apple juice and then fucking you and pissing her pants and.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's astonishing that I didn't get any STDs from that woman.
I'll be like Sherlock Holmes on this case. Like, what? How would a man's penis get rough?
Damn, I don't think I've ever been gaslit about my dick before.
Yeah. Well, you know. This woman was
that
no
was a
good.
very
Well,
unique situation
well.
you were in.
Yeah.
Some nightmares? Some nightmare situation?
Oh
here?
yeah. No, this was in Philly. You know how some people think that it's a smart idea to date another comedian?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Let me tell
Well, that's
you,
enough.
It blows
really.
my mind.
It is absolutely not a smart idea. It's
No.
also not a smart idea to date somebody who's 14 years older than you. 14 years older comedian combo.
Yeah, that's no
not a
good.
good idea.
Dude, I was at a show and this comic goes on stage. He goes, "Yeah, I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend. She has chronically dry pussy. Chronically dry pussy." Gets off stage. The girl he's dating goes up and be like, "I didn't realize my dry pussy was gonna be your opener."
Was this
And, like,
our buddy Cole?
No. I'll tell you who it is later. But they're totally nice people. Like, it was very unexpected.
Of course.
But yeah, he would go, "Yeah, your pussy's so dry. How dry is it?" No, and then she went up. It was just like, it was so uncomfortable. It's like, why are you doing
you
this to each
can't.
other?
You should not. And that's happened. That literally every comic couple I've known at some point has done that.
Yeah. And you start to think that it's like normal, but it's like actually extremely deranged.
It's totally crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, well,
And it's also, it reveals then how sad open mic comedy is, that you're like commenting on some sort of narrative that's like, if there were actual people in the crowd right now, they have no idea what the
They
fuck
would
you're
be
talking about.
completely
yeah,
confused.
you have to
dude.
know you have to have been doing open mics with these people for 4 years in order to understand how good the set was. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Like, Bruce he's dating a comic. Bruce and Kelly, they're a couple.
Yeah.
And I was
Which
literally
that appears to be a rare
well,
exception.
that's what I'm saying, because
Well,
like
every once in a while, you get Moshe Kasher and Natasha Leggero, right? You get like a functioning.
they're dead. She's gonna kill him.
Oh, you think so?
Oh,
Is
100%,
that true?
100%. That's what I think. I think that thing's over. I think it's all a facade. It's a Hollywood relationship. Natasha Leggero's got to be a fucking nightmare to be in a relationship with. I just can't imagine.
I think you're right.
She's too much. Too
Also,
much.
Moshe Kasher's a gay man.
But also imagine being like, I want to break up with this bitch, but otherwise I won't have a special because we have to do them together.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right.
It's
Holy shit.
nightmare. But
Yeah.
like Bruce,
Can
I
you imagine
remember-
doing a comedy special with your wife? How cucked.
Terrible.
No thanks.
Yeah.
Well, you know who the good comedy couple is? Tom Segura and
Christina
Lady.
Pajinski.
Just
yeah,
two
Pajinski.
separate great headliners who
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin, we cut you off, I think. But
No, I was just saying because I had that rule. It was like, don't date a comic. Like, and when
You, having been married to your wife for many years, you're like, I can't date any of these women.
if I have anything, it's like it's what I feel is a great representation of what a good relationship should look like. And I mean, that's literally the last thing I'm proud of is my relationship with my wife. Everything else is gone. But like I remember just like being like, oh no, why are you dating? Like, and then they were so happy. Like, and I just felt like a bad guy after a while. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I guess they're really happy. And like, I love both of them equally. And so it's like, why can't Kevin, you can't condone their happiness because you have this stupid idea of how comics shouldn't date each other. And I was like, it's fine. And so they have my blessing.
But
now.
they shouldn't, because when it ends, you have to move to Los Angeles,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
in my
Well,
experience.
that is the fucked up thing is when you're friends with a couple and they break up, you got to pick a side. You know, I hate that shit.
Yeah,
I
well,
hate it.
it's usually pretty easy. I mean, what I try to do is like I try to understand that like a relationship can be bad and both people in it can like you're different. You know what I mean? Like you're showing the other person sides of yourself that is pretty exclusive to that relationship, and you cannot have animosity towards the less preferred party. But you're right, you do have to pick one. But I always
I just
try
side
not
with
to,
the guy. I do it like boxing, where you just pick your own race. You're like, I'm
I always pick the black guy at boxing.
Yeah.
always. I'm usually right.
Having been in a really toxic relationship, I always try not to like hate either party because I know it's because when I was in a really fucked up relationship where I was like objectively the one that had more being inflicted on them, people tended to defer to her, and I always told myself like I'm not going to.
you gotta believe women, Nick.
You have to,
Even when they're 40 and mean.
Right,
Yeah,
totally. but I always just made that rule for myself where I'm just like, I understand that like people, and because I think I understand how people could have like positive opinions of somebody who's bad because they're not that person to them. But I never want to I never want to disbelieve someone in my belief of somebody else.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
The biggest fight that my wife and I have gotten into in recent years, so we rarely fight, knock on wood or whatever. But we had two very close friends that got married about the same time that we did, and then they got divorced. But these people, she wouldn't have sex with them for the first 2 years of their marriage, like because she had some sort of mental block or whatever. And so just constantly he'd come over, drink, and be like, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" He's like, this bad, it's all. I knew it's bad.
It's bad.
It's no good.
And then
I'm gonna kill her and the kids.
real talk, dude. Like, because I used to run this what was called Friday Night Man Nights when it was literally just me.
have to.
Dude, I feel bad because now like a lot of my buddies, they don't have a group of friends to hang out with in Fresno, like my Fresno buddies, where I'm from. And so like I see them like struggling to where like having a group of men that they could gather with just to bullshit and drink with or just be around once a week. Like this is your safe space. They don't have that now. So they're like, I feel guilty because I'm like, I was organizing all that shit. But all that to say, like this guy would come over, he'd tell me what was going on in his marriage. He would tell us, he'd like pray for us. Like we're, she's struggling with this as emotional block.
You and all your boys take hands and pray that your buddy gets pussy.
Dude, a
It's
little
real
bit.
shit,
A
dude.
little- A little bit.
Yeah, I'm for this.
And so,
We used to didn't at the very beginning of this podcast, or was that no? It was on Robert's
It
stream.
was on Robert's stream. We would pray for pussy, and we would
Yeah.
pray for fortune.
dude, you
Well,
got
We'd do it with
lead the prayers.
the viewers, and
Brandon.
then at the end we'd look at the chat and it'd be a bunch of amens.
Let me tell you something.
dude, I love it.
I'm drunk enough. At the end of this Patreon episode, I will lead us in prayer, dude.
Okay.
Because I used to lead prayer in my youth group. I will take hands. I will lead you in prayer. I'll handle fucking snakes if somebody brings a snake in here.
But dude, the couple, they end up getting divorced, and then my wife's like essentially like fuck him, like how because he basically left.
What, he wanted to lose his virginity?
Yeah, basically, and I mean,
So they hadn't fucked.
no,
prior to-
they did. They ended up
Okay.
having sex 2 years in. They started having sex, and because they were like me and my wife. They were both virgins beforehand, and
Churched.
like the church shit just fucked with her enough to where her vagina was like trying to obey the rules of Jesus and not open, and so he couldn't have sex with. Like it was bad,
Right.
And then they get divorced, and I'm just like, my wife, I go, as you hear about, what's going down, and I'm like, yeah, it's totally logical. Like like, yeah, they weren't having sex. She wasn't, and whatever. And my wife's like, he's an asshole. I'm like, yes, but
It's an important
this is
aspect.
what happens if
Yeah.
you refuse to change or evolve, and like you gotta try. Like, I don't know what, and and then I'd go hang out with him, and she'd just be like, "You fucking piece of shit." Like, and I felt bad, but I saw him. Like, it was.
It's. I mean, it's difficult because it is like, I empathize with the lady in that relationship for having some kind of mental
100%.
block because that's totally real. But that in a way is like a very intimate kind of rejection that like.
Yes.
It
that's gonna
sounds
have
like
an impact.
Yeah.
I think women do this, where it sounds like that's like a version of the same how like now girls like won't take their mask off in the store. And it's like, no, it's okay.
Right.
Like, it's over.
Yeah.
Nothing bad's going to happen.
Like,
They're like, no, I'm just going to keep it on.
just for safety.
Yeah.
Just for safety. Well, the church fucks you up so bad with sex, and like with your anatomy, it literally if you can't get your brain to work around it, you can't produce the essential lube.
Right.
To have sex, or like it's just like, and you're just terrified because your entire life you've been taught that even if you look at your vagina, you're going to hell or whatever.
Yeah, and
So
then suddenly be like, all right, go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
important.
Yeah,
you gotta go.
You
down
said
there.
the special words and exchanged the pieces of metal.
Yes.
So,
right.
yeah.
we exchanged the precious metal.
Damn, what is this, a Pete Holmes bit?
That
Like,
rocks, dude.
Put it in.
Listen to me now. We said the magic words. We exchanged the metal. I get to fuck you.
Yes, that's the way it works.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
yeah, that used to be all of alt comedy. Was just like disbelief at the mundane.
Dude, that was my
Yeah.
tweet a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Was we named all the birds? Yeah, that shit.
I replied to that. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. That's right.
I was proud of myself. I was like,
You-
this is good. It's right up his
What was
alley.
your
It was
reply?
a top 10 tag.
He said, we've named all the birds, not 99% of the birds, not 70% of the birds. We named all the birds.
Right.
Like, can't believe this. The blue birds. Like it was like a Pete
Yeah,
Holmes
yeah.
It was a
thing.
Pete Holmes
and then
bit.
I
Yeah.
said, I'm on board as long as we change birds to genders.
And I was like, man,
We've named all the genders. All of the genders.
that's the only tag I would have accepted. But you're right. It does fuck you. I mean, I remember like because I was. It's funny, like going back and realizing how deep in the church I was, which I don't think I registered until I was like, oh yeah, I was like traveling the country doing puppet ministry when I was like 14 years old.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
Where my church, like, it was like, my church was not like oppressive or controlling in any way. Where like to the point where I think it was ineffective as a church because they were just like, it's okay if you guys don't believe in this.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like Unitarian shit. Like
Well,
when I was,
it does, but we were Lutheran.
that's wild. What
But I think
denomination?
that
just Lutheran,
just
Like-
Lutheran. But I think there was like this one like vicar who became a pastor. So
R, huh?
Dude, I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so proud of myself right now.
but yeah, I think that she was kind of like new agey and stuff.
well,
So they'd just be like, yeah, church, eat your Pop Tarts. It's okay if you don't believe in God.
oh damn, dude.
Yeah.
I was so into. I would like
That's like the ultimate marketing for church. Mm-hmm. Like, just get your fireproof card. Just say Jesus. Just say it. I mean, who fucking cares if you believe?
Yeah.
Just say it. Just like Trinity, yeah, God, Father, Holy Spirit. Yeah, I'm a sinner, and He's gonna forgive me for my sins. It could be bullshit, guys. It could totally be bullshit.
Yeah.
But come forward.
I feel like, have you been to like, have you, when's the last time you've been to church?
It's been like 9 years. 9 years.
Yeah.
When I started doing stand up, I stopped going to church.
It's about right.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend goes to a church and I go, and I like it enough. It's not my style of church.
What style is it?
It's like contemporary.
Okay.
And it's like kind of like hip. It's like hipster church. Where
That's the church I went to.
okay,
Yeah.
but they're so like hip that they're like they're basically like the pastor is like almost apologizing for making it about Jesus, and it's
Oh my
like,
God.
no, we're at church. Like he's like, we're church for people who are convinced church is irrelevant. Maybe you think church sucks and it's gay. Like, maybe you think church is for fucking losers. Come in here. It's like, it's okay. Like we came to church. Like we like church.
We're here at church, dude.
It's church for people. It's church for the people who didn't come.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it's like you're not going to convince those people.
Yeah. Guys, come on now. Come on down. We're going to play Fortnite in the name of Jesus tonight. And, it just looks for sure. Sure. I mean, it's a made up story. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Noah's Ark. And we got proof of that shit. I get it. I get it, y'all. But, come on, put some money in the tin, eat the cracker, drink the juice, folks. Come on now.
Yeah, dude, I was super involved in my, I was so involved in church that I actually alienated a couple of my friends because I would go to youth group every Sunday. We would have like these Christian rock bands come through. People who were not a big deal, like the Daniel Powder Band was a big one, like very big Christian, like regional Christian rock band would like hang out with our youth group. And the first place I was exposed to comedy or performance was church. That was the first time I I think at 9 years old, I was King Josiah in like the religious musical that we did, and then I was doing puppet ministry. But we had this religious improv troupe come to church, and I thought they were just the fucking best. I can't remember their name, but they had a DVD called Duck Tape with like a fucking duck on it, all that shit. And so I was like, when I was 11 years old, I invited all my friends from the neighborhood. I convinced 5 guys, really hyped it up, kind of how I convinced you to move to LA. It's the total same thing. And
You're just like, there's no downsides.
I was like, you gotta come see this fucking improv
Rent
troupe.
is so cheap.
So cheap. You're gonna love it. I haven't been paying for 3 months, but you'll be fine. So, and I was like, you gotta come. They're so fucking funny. They do it right. Right. I always fucking forget the name, but they do it right where we would all go to worship every Sunday. I was like, you guys are gonna love this. And so I bring 7 of my fucking friends to see this entirely scripture-based improv group, and they take a break 30 minutes in. They go get there's some food and shit out there, and I watch all 7 of my friends booking it, fucking booking, and I'm like, guys, wait, where are you going? You don't like this?
How old were you?
I had to be 10 or 11.
Yeah.
That I convinced
Wait,
them.
what was this? Was Christian improv?
This was Christian improv.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So imagine the only way that improv could be worse is scripture-based improv, dude.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling so insanely rejected, as they were they hated it.
Yeah.
They could not fucking stand it.
Dude, I literally convinced, I don't know if I convinced people, but when I was going to church, it just, the youth group got huge. When I was in junior high and we were the cool kids of the high school and the junior high. It was very weird.
Yeah.
And so it was so easy to just stay in it and we'd convince people, come out to locker. We're going to, there's going to, audio adrenaline's going to be there. It's going to be, you guys are going to be blown away. Mark Lowry's going to be doing a song about Song of Solomon, guys. And it's going to be great. And it got to be cool to where so many people were going. And it was I never had that moment like you were talking about where people I had to make a sacrifice or anything. Yeah. It was just always there until I was 30 and I was what the hell? What am I doing? What is going on? But yeah, I miss the community. I miss the group, that feeling of
it was when I was living in my car, part of the reason why, I would park down at the Culver City steps, down in the big Baldwin Hill down there, and the only radio station I would get would be the religious station. So I'd listen to Alistair Begg and Greg Laurie, and it was incredibly comforting to me.
Yeah,
because it took me right back to youth group every Sunday.
Something about this town makes you need you're from California, but moving to LA and then just diving in, and I'm just I think I need religion in my life because I am very scared.
Dude, LA's a whole different bird. I mean, it's a whole different animal than any other city, even in California. Because I'm from Fresno, which is very it's a Central Valley is super conservative. It was this conservative armpit in the middle of California. It's so weird. I have an accent. I don't know where it came from. It's from. It's really weird that exists. But I miss church just because it was the last time that somebody. Everybody around me was telling me you're doing what you need to be doing. This is, dude, we're so proud. People telling we're so proud of you. You're making all the right decisions. You're a man of God. And I just remember that feeling, and I miss that because nobody tells you you're doing the right thing in LA. Like, everybody's basically like, yes, what you're doing is shit. You know, like it just feels bad.
Dude,
See, there's something I think I got to find something other than Lutheran to bring my kids to someday, because I think like my church, it was like everybody was doing like the bare minimum. It was like, okay, we're gonna do the service, but if someone like wants to like talk to me about God while we're like getting coffee in the like in the hallway, it's
chill
like
out.
chill,
Yeah.
Jesus, like that's for in there. Like
Yeah.
See, I would be that guy who would like. I remember I took a guy to coffee once, and he filled out like a connection card. So we used to hand out cards or whatever at the service, and then if you wanted to meet with somebody, then you'd fill out this card, and then I would get the cards, or like a group of people, and they would have
they give them all to you.
Yeah, well, no, there was like a delegate. There was like a group of people that we give to, and I remember I took this guy to Uncle Harry's bagels. And I'm just going like, so like, tell me a little. We're talking, we're going through this thing, and after a while, like he kind of like he's like, so did you only want to hang out like to. Like you're supposed to like teach me about the Bible or whatever, and I was like, yeah, you filled out the card or whatever, and so then it's like, so that's the only reason that you want to be friends with me, and I was like, I mean, well, that's how this whole thing started because you filled the card out, and he's like, well, I know more about the Bible than you do.
Oh shit!
And I was like, hey, this is great. Then you can teach me about stuff or whatever. And he was so upset though. He was like furious. He's like, this is bullshit. You're only doing this because they told you to come hang out with me. And I was like, I mean, yeah, that's the only reason. How else would I have known to talk to you other than like we're arguing in this bagel shop?
Damn, this is such like a girlfriend argument.
Dude, it really was. It really was.
I got in trouble.
I want you to want to talk to me. I don't want you to do it just because I filled out a card.
Dude, I remember I got in trouble. It was the summer. I think I was like 12 or 13. I came back from the Great Escape, which was like a big church retreat. And I was hanging out with this kid that I went to school with, Nick Tanasakis, and we were just like hanging out down at the beach, like near where I lived, like on the Severn River. And somehow we got on the topic of God. Somehow we got on the topic of like God's love and God's power, and I just like full on like autistic started like spewing like the story of like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to him in the fiery furnaces, and like in a way where like I was like cornering him and like making
You were
him
passionate.
Damn,
I was super passionate.
My brain just suddenly remembered all the lyrics to the fucking Cool in the Furnace musical.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
I don't remember that one.
It's like Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego lived in Judah a long time ago.
Okay, yeah.
They had funny
Yes, dude.
names, but they didn't. No, some I don't remember.
And so,
But then everybody walks into like just like a big cardboard box with like streamers coming off of it.
Yeah. Did you guys do did you guys ever do the what was it called? It was like a Scared Straight thing where kids died. It's a stage performance and the kids died, and they one of them like goes to heaven and the other ones go to hell. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
mine
then-
were all just like musicals based off of like Bible stories, but this sounds sick.
Dude, so then the kid that's a Christian or whatever, he's talking to God and he's just like, why didn't you ever share the gospel with your friends? And he's like just racked with guilt. And then it cuts to another scene of his friends just like being burned alive in hell. And dude, it was like
it's a fucking good ass movie,
and
dude.
then no, it was a live stage
No, I
performance.
know.
So like
How are you doing cuts?
it was like fade to like
Right.
dead
Yeah.
lights, like go
Yeah,
fade
yeah.
to black. But it was like when you said the cardboard with the thing, like the pretend flames.
Yeah.
That like I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
shit.
such shitty production value.
Yeah,
dude.
but dude,
Except I remember we
kids
always
came
had.
forward though. They were
Yeah.
like, I want, please let me go to heaven. This is bad.
Dude, I remember at our church, like when they would do the nativity play every year, everyone wanted to be in the camel suit. It was like, oh, I want to be in the camel so bad.
Yeah,
they had
dude.
like a camel suit with like two people in it.
Dude, I would put on 30 to 45 minute puppet ministry shows like 25 weeks out of the year at my Presbyterian church, and which was
You did voices and stuff.
did voices, did everything. Now some puppet ministry shows we did, we lip synced to pre-recorded audio, but a lot of them it was actually us. We had like the fucking in-sync mics on.
You're wearing a black turtleneck.
Yes, for real. And it was some of the hardest shit because we had to, in these puppet shows, so basically we had like the stage was like these like tiered pieces of like PVC pipe with like black cloth draped over them. And so you had to switch back and forth between like the background, which was like way up here, and the foreground. And you had to be in charge of like 5 different puppets. And we would take this shit on the road. We would go down to Georgia. We would go to North Carolina. We would like compete in puppet ministry competitions. And it was it was some of the hardest performance I've ever done in my life for nothing.
Yeah, well, but in the moment, it feels so rewarding.
It was insane, dude. It's crazy. It's funny because it's like it was something that I kind of forgotten about until I started like reflecting on it, where I'm like, that was crazy that I did that. It's crazy that was a skill that I had to like, you know, be a competent puppeteer and like lip sync with the audio or with my actual voice. Yeah. And it's crazy that I did it for like fucking 4 or 5 years.
Well, dude, I like I said,
and also that's the most experience you've had like on the road.
That is the no, completely true. Completely true. Yeah,
because you remember like us listening to podcasts in like 2012, being like, "Man, I can't wait to go on the road."
And it's like I did. We were sleeping in fucking hotels and shit, like we were like touring comics. And what's crazy, I think like
Artie Lang was there. It was just like crashing.
Dude, I'm making the puppets shoot fake heroin.
Yeah, dude.
Well, it's like
that's
I think,
ministry.
I think what's crazy is like what I really thought about thinking of is like my choir instructor, Miss Jeannie, who like always like would give me like solos and she cast me in all the church plays and stuff. Like she really thought that I was like special and good and had like a purpose in the church. And I've constantly thought about like, what if she found this podcast? What would she think, dude?
Dude, I helped start the church that is now a gargantuan 9-campus church. There's 9 campuses. I started it. I literally was a living room like this, and we talked about what we wanted a church to be like. I was like a freshman in college, and like we started it like together. And then I would do the announcements, but I'd make the announcements hilarious in my opinion, and in the church's opinion at least. And like they would tell me, hey, we got small group, we got summer camp coming up, nobody's tithing, so and then okay, go. And then my buddy would just film me just like this, and he'd just be standing there and he'd go, and I would just make up funny jokes about that during the whole process. And then I would play the drums on Sunday, and I was fucking loving it. And then I would do like I was so involved. I was able to be completely insanely creative. I got a little older. We started making fun of the church in the skits that we would do. Like where we would make fun of the pastor, we would make fun of how there was so many young, attractive, single girls that were coming to the church, and like because people would joke.
Yeah, you definitely want to roast the girls coming to church.
Yeah, real talk, because the church would get popular with young people, and it'd be like I don't know if anybody's been to the Central Valley of Fresno. I don't know what it is, but there are just a bevy of gorgeous women in the Central Valley. I don't know. Whatever that is. It's also the most ethnically diverse place in the entire world. There's more races in Fresno than there are anywhere in the world.
Nice.
And so I don't know if that has to do with it. That's true.
Huh.
At least it was like 7 years ago. When
I like a lot of beige.
Well, they got rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure it was 70, but they got rid of
Once
them.
the
Don't
Klan
worry.
took over, it was fun. No, but like I was able to get all this fulfillment, just like you're talking about, like this fulfillment of doing all these cool things. The band that I was in, this worship band, we started writing original music, and then we were going to go on a tour. Like we had a tour planned in Germany to go, and I was going to play my fucking drums in Germany in the name of the Lord, and I was so pumped up. And then the 2 lead singers cheated on their spouses with each other. Yeah.
Your fucking worship band goes all Fleetwood Mac.
Dude,
was it guy and guy or guy girl?
Guy girl.
Okay. Because guy and guy would be salacious.
Well, and the dude, seriously. Well, and the church that I was a part of was all about transparency and openness. Like our profit and loss statements were like on the website. Like you'd literally just click it. You could see how much money we were making.
Oh, wow.
How much everybody was getting paid. It was like trying so hard to be a good church and not fall to all the bad shit that happens in church, especially with money and stuff. And so they ended up cheating with one another. And then when it came out the next Sunday, the pastor was talking about it from stage. And then the worship pastor had to like address it and talk with us. And then in smaller circles with like the worship group, like we got fucking details on shit that was happening.
Damn.
Like that they were like, she was showing her tits on the FaceTime, like they were FaceTiming each other, and she was showing her tits to him and stuff, and she was gorgeous. Like,
It's so funny to like not only overshare, the pastor's like, these two in our congregation, they had sex. Doggy style.
Dude, how do I get into gossip church?
dude, it was because the whole point was like, we're not going to have secrets. This is what's happening. Chris has to, I should, it's a Patreon. He's leaving. He's got to leave because he was unfaithful to his wife.
Right, for sure.
He's going to move back to Texas. He's going to work for his father-in-law, which is so fucking insane because like he cheated on his wife. They have kids. They had just adopted a kid.
Oh yeah, and he's working for her father.
He gets fired
Damn.
from the church for infidelity, and then they move back home, and he works for his father-in-law. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, like,
Damn.
this is insane.
Yo, this is girl brain church. This is my kind of church, dude.
Dude, it was intense. And then we're like, we're gonna get a new youth pastor, or we're gonna get a new worship pastor now. And then I'm like, oh, who's this fucker?
It's like,
gonna be?
all right, guys, this time no one's gonna fuck each other. We
Yeah.
promise.
Oh, dude. Well, the thing about it too is like, and I remember talking to my buddies, like, because we used to have like those Friday night man nights where it was just a bunch of church guys, and the premise was we all love Jesus, we get it, we love Jesus, you love Jesus, you love Jesus? I love Jesus too. Hey, you guys want some fucking whiskey?
Yeah,
And
let's get to real shit.
Let's do chat roulette together and hang out. You know,
What? Whoa, Kevin! That's fucking insane.
it was. We did it for like 12 years. It was like there was always a bunch of dudes in my backyard just hanging out doing this shit. And so then in those gatherings, I remember because the female worship pastor was so fucking gorgeous. Like she was like on anybody's opinion a 9. And the most critical person would say she was a 9 out of 10. She was gorgeous. And then this guy cheats on her. And so, of course, all these well-to-do, meaning Christian boys are like, "What? Hey, so, like, what happened? Like, did she blow him or what do you think?" And okay. And I was like, oh, well, first it started on FaceTime, you know, she's showing her tits. Like, everybody's like leaning in, like grabbing more whiskey, like drinking, like in the name of God,
Just
you know?
a bunch of group coveting.
Yes, dude, 100%.
Damn, that sounds covetous as hell.
That sounds. Can I tell you something though? That sounds sick, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was great, but I mean,
Locker room talk with all your Christian bros.
Oh, my
This
God,
sounds
I'm telling
fucking.
you, it was the best.
This is why we got to start a church.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll have
Yeah,
designated
you've started
locker
a
room
church.
talk.
Help us. We'll start another one.
Oh, dude, you gotta really believe. You know, you gotta really.
I do believe.
You gotta. I have genuinely. I am 100% convinced that I could have
For
a
Saturday, we do
successful
bagels
cult.
and coveting.
Yeah. Come on, bagels and covet. We'll get some. Bring your pictures. Anybody got pictures of your neighbor's wife?
We just have PowerPoint and we're throwing up fully clothed women and we're all like, nice.
Yeah. Can we rotate this 360? I'd like to take a little peek.
We have like 3D like photometry or whatever.
Yeah.
Somehow we have 3D scans of everyone's wives.
Dude, yeah, this is her. She's reciting the entire first chapter of Romans. But take a look at those tits, guys. I mean, are you seeing those things? Like, dude,
Damn.
I
How'd you just started a horny church?
well, everybody's horny at church.
Yeah.
You have to acknowledge it.
That's
dude.
true. I was
Yeah.
very horny at church.
That, well, I mean,
I remember when my my middle school crush joined our church. That was huge.
Dude, I can tell. I literally remember like sucking on the nipple of the chick that
The
I was.
puppet.
No, that would be sick, dude. That'd be sick if the puppets were anatomically correct, right under the fucking puppet clothes.
Or they just catch you. You're sucking your own dick with the puppet. You're like bottomless in a black turtleneck.
I'm like, look, you guys had to foresee that this would happen.
cut to a week later, you in front of the entire church. I've sinned. I've sinned, y'all.
Everyone's like,
Samantha, she sucked my dick. I feel bad.
No, but straight up in the holy grounds, which used to be, I think, the original church building before they built the bigger church. But the holy grounds was a coffee house. It was the building that my grandparents got married in.
We had a holy grounds.
Yeah,
coffee
dude.
place. Yeah,
Holy grounds is sick, dude. And so, but in the back room of the holy grounds, I was literally just like sucking on the nipples of this girl who was a grade above me in 8th grade. We were both in the same musical together, and that was where we had the. It was completely sacrilegious, dude.
Dude, this is the worst story ever. You just reminded me of this fucking story. So when I was like a junior in high school, I was a band president. I was Sinner Snare, folks. All right, I was Sinner Snare, and I was the marching band president, and I'm really like heavily involved in church. And I started telling a joke about this, but a little bit, but I won't. Anyway, like everybody knows Mike can stand up. Anyway, so we're in Phoenix where there's a color guard winter drum competition, and this girl that I had a crush on for a long time, who was way overdeveloped. For it was just
How
insane.
great is that when that happens,
dude? It was insane. And I remember we were.
How awesome are the hormones in milk, Kevin?
Oh God, God! I was like, "Thank you, Tyson Chicken. Thank you for what you've done to this beautiful woman."
Do you remember when like it was like rare that a girl had boobs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that 1 year where you were like, oh, this is the girl who has boobs in my class.
There were so many girls in 7th grade. There were 3 of them. They weren't even attractive, but they had tits. They were the most coveted for the dance.
Absolutely.
For the spring dance.
Yes.
You have to jump on that.
Fucking perverts just following our anatomy, you know. It's
Absolutely,
you can't
dude.
help it. So I remember we're alone in a hotel room, and we start making out, and I'm already feeling like the guilt of like it's the Holy Spirit speaking to me right now, telling me this is wrong, and like we're making out, and she's gorgeous. I'm touching her boobs, and I was blown away. Like it was literally. It was like a dream. Like I don't know. You guys remember like the first time you were like,
oh yeah,
made out or felt up a girl or whatever. And but I remember we're in the heat of like making out, and she whispers my youth pastor's name in my ear, and I was like, what? And she goes, and then she goes, do you think that this is wrong? Like, is this a sin? Is this wrong? And I was like, well. I'll use my biblical knowledge. Like it was like I was like half and half. I was like, I'll be a good guy, but a piece of shit. And then I was like, well, biblically,
you lawyer her into fucking you.
yeah. Well, basically, I was like, I have no intentions of having sex with you, so I think we're okay.
Right.
Which I knew was bullshit because it's biblically, it's a brain thing. You know, it has nothing to do with the physical act. That's why all these fuckers are like,
you were
Jesus is cool with
coveting her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're lusting after somebody that's not your wife. But I remember telling her, I was like, yeah, I have no intention. So we kept making out, and it was the first time anybody ever had like touched my dick, and I was fucking floored. Like I was so excited. But she was in the color guard, and so she would flip rifles. Like you guys remember color guard? You guys remember that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So you flip these girls, like they literally practice like 9-10 hours a day of flipping fucking swords and rifles. Needless to say, she had the calluses of a 45-year-old lumberjack.
Oh, dude.
And so she fucked my dick up like bad, and I did not want to say anything because I was so like grateful that she was even willing to touch me.
Thank you so much.
But it was bad. It was really bad. And the one time I've ever told a story on stage, and the reason you'll find out the reason why I stopped is I said
she was in the audience.
yeah, she's right. No, I said I knew it was bad because I was grateful that my dick started bleeding because then there was at least some sort of lubricant.
Oh my God.
The audience simultaneously all pulled 45s out of their pocket and blew their heads off. I was like, I'm never telling this story again.
Jesus Christ, Kevin, that's a fucking Marilyn Manson ass story, dude.
Yeah.
Using fucking blood as lube.
But it was bad. It was bad.
That is twisted.
But then I remember telling her, like at the end of it, I was just like, because I was before. I said, I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow,
right?
But I know how I feel right now, and I'd love to continue this sesh of touching your boobs.
This beautiful moment.
Yeah, but oh man, I felt so fucking bad.
That's crazy that she's
so bad.
That's fucking. Yeah, it's.
Did you think like God wounded my dick to punish me?
No, I never did think that. I never did like that. I never.
You didn't think it was like instant karma? That's interesting.
No, I just remember like thinking, how am I going to convince one of these desk worker women to jack me off. Somebody that's never seen a day of labor, hard labor in their life. Just smooth hands. Yeah, good time. Church.
Dude, I remember like we went on one youth retreat where like it was the youth pastor's son. He and some chick were, so where we were on this youth retreat, there was like there was a small lake actually, and on the other side of the lake there was a riverbank or whatever you would call it, and the forest was like right behind it, and he was full on like fucking another girl like on the it was like
the
8
pastor?
o'clock.
Wait, who was
No,
this?
the son of the youth pastor. I should clarify. The son of the youth pastor who was on the church retreat with us.
Always the worst kids.
Dude, 100%.
Always the worst kids.
100%. So he was fucking some other girl who was on the church retreat. There were like 3 different churches on the church retreat. I think she was from ours. And so on the bank of this river or this lake or whatever, they were like having sex in the dark. Sun had already gone down, but people saw motion, so they got a big spotlight and fucking shone it on them.
No.
And it's one of those things where it's like the woods are right there.
Yeah.
Go to the woods if you're gonna. It was really
There's something about
strange.
being
dude.
young though. You're like very confident that you can't be seen.
Yeah.
Like I remember,
the
like
bat signal comes.
yeah, like I remember fingering my first girlfriend just in the middle of the yard.
Really?
Just I mean, it was night, but it was like, I mean, the moon was out somewhat. It was just in the center of the backyard, and now I'm like, that was plainly visible.
You had her in the grass, dude?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because
That's
like
good
what
times.
we would be like, oh, we're just gonna watch the stars, and then I would just
true.
I would finger her.
That's the
It's
best.
been a real minute since I've fucked like, on the earth and ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You got to do it.
I think
bro.
that's how you're
have
supposed to
to.
do it.
Can-
You think you're
Connection.
supposed to fuck on the earth and ground?
I think that I
With
think
the ants and the beetles, Brendan?
I think that my dick would get harder if I was like on dirt.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have an orgy with fucking.
I can't come unless I built a log cabin in at least 24 hours. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm outside in the woods.
I don't know if I agree with having sex amongst like dew and creatures with exoskeletons.
Oh, you need that dew.
You don't knock it until you tried it, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I took me and my wife went on a Valentine's Day trip. Like this is like 10 years ago, and we went to Morro Bay, and we were there with another couple, and we were hanging out or whatever. And then we're like, hey, we'll go to I'm like, baby, let's go walk on the beach late at night. And the whole time I was trying to convince my wife to have sex with me on the beach.
On the beach.
She was like not interested at
Really?
all. And I just remember like, come on, baby, fine. Like I brought a blanket, like let's lay down or whatever. She's like, let's just keep walking. I'm like, my legs kind of hurt though, I want to like lay it. She's like, nah, it's good. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for this trip, baby. I'm like, yeah, there's a way you could thank me. Maybe real helpful. Or she's like, let's go. Hey, we should go over there and check out the lifeguard tower. I was like, fuck. And I just remember I got back my buddy Chris, who was with us, the couple, the man and the couple. And he's like, hey, hell yeah, dude, you guys went out to the beach? And I was like, no, dude. Nothing happened.
Nothing, dude.
He was like, oh, sorry, man.
Dude, the one time I thought I was going to have sex on the beach, I wound up getting arrested.
Really?
Yeah, because it was senior week Ocean City, and we convinced it was this chick that I had a huge crush on, and because I had a huge crush on her, she was wearing a dress, so I held all her weed in my pocket.
Hell yeah.
And this other stone kid came and ran Ocean City, Maryland. He was like, it was 2 a.m. He's like, you guys have to come to the beach. It's like being on the moon. And we were like, well, you sold us. So we fucking, and by the way, we passed 5 signs that said being on the beach after midnight is not,
illegal.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't be. How can that be illegal?
It's so stupid.
It's because
I
they
know
wanted
that-
a fucking excuse to arrest kids who are partying at senior week, dude.
Yeah.
And so, I went down there.
God made it. What, you think this belongs to you?
And also,
Police?
the fucked up thing is, dude, the cop I 100% saw all the cops that came down to arrest us. These are the creepy fucks in Ocean City, Maryland. We passed by other senior week houses where there were literally cops in uniform with their arms around 17-year-old girls who were fucking drinking. It's just total fucking creeps, dude. Yeah. So I thought I was gonna go down, get stoned, have sex on the beach, 17, be sick, and then of course before you know it, there's fucking flashlights in our face. Fuck. And I have a pocket full of weed.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I got loaded. I got fucking.
And that's when you swim away.
Let me tell you something. If I could do it now, if I could fucking travel back in time, I would absolutely swim out into the sea because I'm not afraid of the water.
Yeah,
I'm a friend of the fish and the
cop's
sharks.
gonna follow you? No way.
They're not gonna. They'll jam their guns up. They're wearing fucking expensive uniforms, dude. I can tread water for hours. Okay,
bro.
yeah, dude.
That would be so. Or what would be even better is the cop shines his light on you and you just start burrowing like a hermit crab.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have just dove. I should have just like drilled my body into the sand.
Just leave the girl there for the cops. Just bitch.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is
Dive in like Scrooge McDuck, but you just break your neck and bleed out. You just die. That's what I'm gonna. I've never been arrested, but if I ever do, I'm gonna kill myself before they can take me in.
It's for a busted taillight.
Yeah. They're like, sir, and I'm snapping my own neck.
Like, sir, stop. Jesus.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I got loaded into the paddy wagon. It was a fucking rough night for 17-year-old.
Spent the night in jail?
I went to jail and then they had a center for like youths and then my fucking dad came and picked me up. But I had to get all my shit back from like the senior week house. So like he like dropped me off in the driveway. I had to like go up and like everybody saw me. I had to fucking get all my shit and get in the car. It was so bad.
That's brutal.
What's fucked up is like there were a bunch of like Irish chicks because like in Ocean City, Maryland, there were a bunch of like Irish chicks for some reason who like worked there in the summer. Mm-hmm. And so I told the cops that I didn't want to sell out the chick who gave me the weed, and there were a bunch of Irish girls at the party smoking weed. So I was like, yeah, I'm just holding this for like this Irish chick.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. But then so the paddy wagon's going around fucking picking people up, and then like 2 stops later, they pick up a bunch of Irish chicks, and they're like, you come out here, and they had me like they wanted to see if I like knew these fucking Irish girls.
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea who they are, and they're like, all right, well, you're all going. So they
Yeah.
just threw us into the fucking truck.
Different Irish chick.
Yeah, there were an abundance of them, and they told me. Let me tell you something. These Irish chicks. I was stoned and drunk enough that they told me that they didn't have Wednesday in Ireland. It skipped from Tuesday to Thursday, and also that they thought I had the eyes of a rapist, which was like a crazy thing to shout across the beer pong table.
That is the weirdest like gaslighting I've ever heard.
Let me tell you something, Kevin. I was super into it. I was like, all right, nice. I was like,
Yeah.
cool.
If you're down, I'm down. You know? Wow.
Yeah, I've never been so negged by somebody from fucking across, the Great Pond, dude.
Yeah. I will say greater than having sex with somebody. I think that feeling, that anxiety of trying to like we're going to go to a place, maybe we'll get maybe like that anxiety
It's
of
an
a
adventure.
first date of like I think I've fallen for this girl, like that feeling. That is one of the feelings that I get a little bit like I don't know, jealous of or whatever, like because I
would say
I'm never
that
gonna have that again, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I will say like I can genuinely say like one of the best like the girl that I dated before I moved to LA and then was dating like while I lived in LA, like we went out on a date. I like took her on a date in Annapolis, and like it was like a good date, all that stuff. And then like at the end of the day, I like took her back to my car. I kissed her, and she was like, I was not expecting you to kiss me. I was like, do you want to go back to your place? She was like, yeah. And like it was and gorgeous girl, like really good match. The relationship just didn't work out, but it was one of those things where like as it was happening, like having sex with this girl on the first date, it was like this is beyond just like the conquest of it. It was like there's something really exciting about this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a
I
hit
think
of
that
adrenaline.
the way that you recapture that later in life is you just have to let your relationship get worse so that you get back to the point where you're like, ooh, does she like me?
Yeah.
I think I might squirt. I think I'm starting to win her over.
Yeah. I'm actually getting back to that place right now where I'm just like, oh man, dude, my wife. We had sex like last week. We had sex like when was it? Like when the stars were out. I can't remember what the celestial body was in the sky at the time. But I remember I just asked her if she wanted to go watch a movie while the kids were watching a movie in the living room, and then she I didn't want to have sex at all. I was just like, let's watch like, I don't know, Curb Your Enthusiasm or something.
Great to set the mood.
Yeah,
Just fucking do.
Yeah. It's like, oh, the fucking watch the storylines are gonna all fucking sync up at the end. And is that the first time somebody simulated sex on the pod?
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
want to fuck the stool?
yeah. I would just but now it's just like I'm like so like I was not interested in having sex. I was not horny at all. But I was like, I gotta take advantage. I gotta take advantage of this moment right
I
here.
gotta Louis my wife.
Yeah, I
have
to. I blocked the door. I just started jacking off
You
right
called
there.
her on the phone, started jacking off.
Yeah. It's like, just breathe louder.
Man, Louising chicks rocks. Like, when it's consensual.
The consensual Louis.
For sure.
But yeah, have you ever done this one time with my girlfriend? I just she went to the bathroom. We were not about to have sex, and I just started jerking off. And I was like,
Yeah.
I bet this will be interesting when she comes back.
I mean, that could be. It's a nice way to let your girlfriend know that you're in the mood in a spontaneous way. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not even comfortable in front of my wife.
And of course,
to
if
do
she had
that
been
yet.
like, no, thank you, I would have been like, I guess I'll finish this later.
Right.
Yeah. Did it work?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It always works. The barn dog hog, dude. Women can't resist it. Except for most of the women that have resisted it.
Yeah. Or more like it's just that like I'm so low T that like if I'm in the mood, my girlfriend's like, oh, thank God, finally.
Dude,
I
feel
shouldn't
I
be
can
on
relate to that.
This is I shouldn't have said that on the air.
I think it's okay, dude.
I don't know. I try not to say anything about our sex life.
I
try not to really
That
talk
didn't-
about her at all on the show.
That really didn't feel like over the line at all.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like you're oversharing about yourself more than
More than her.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great that your girlfriend wants to have like a healthy, intimate relationship with you. That's not negative at all.
I got to talk to you about some low T shit too at some point.
Are you low T, Kev?
I think so.
How could you be? You get your beard is filled in so nicely.
I don't know. I know that I got fat. I'm less. I'm also. I just turned 40.
Well, get
So
it.
I'm like.
You're 40?
Yeah.
You have the exuberance of a fucking 32-year-old, dude. Let me tell you.
I appreciate that. That's good. It doesn't help at a job interview too much, but yeah, you seem like you're about 11.
Damn, I did not realize you were 40.
Yeah,
you don't have 40-year-old energy at all, dude.
I appreciate that. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like all my friends have houses and like careers, and I'm just like, someday I'll get there.
It's, you know what, dude? That's when at the end of life, when it all flashes before your eyes, I think you're gonna have a lot more meaningful experiences than people who.
That's
Plus,
what
you're not like you're not the kind of guy who's like put off things to.
Yeah, that's true. I literally, because at 30, when I left the church and started doing stand up, it was like I'd never done drugs. Like I'd gotten drunk, but it was like I felt bad about it, before. I never did any of that shit. And now I do consider it like life is like kind of like a culmination of experiences.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, I want to try this. That's why I want to try DMT. Like, I remember the first time, I don't know if I
Let me know if you get your hands on that stuff, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I know, I know a Connect. I'm aware of a Connect.
I would love to.
He has a vape DMT thing that you can essentially buy.
Okay.
But,
let me know about that.
His name's Jerry Lawson. His phone number is I don't know.
His home address.
Yeah. But yeah, like
He's actually the sponsor of this episode.
yeah.
What if we started doing ad reads for DMT?
That'd be bad.
Or just for like specific drug dealers.
That would be sick.
Yeah, it's like today we are sponsored by Carlos. He is on the corner of
Look for the man with a red fedora.
Los Angeles, fucking Beverly at 3 p.m. Yeah.
But like I do feel like it was there was like a shift that happened where I was like, I just want to experience stuff. Like, because when you really think about it, because in Christianity they always talk about like the consequences of your life, or like this experience. Like they think about it like a timeline that goes on for infinity, and that your life is just this blink. It literally is. And Christianity aside, it's like life is such a fucking short thing. And the fact that we're born in the United States in this time with this privilege and this just
the fact that we're born now, right when everything's about to change because aliens are real.
Yeah.
Right.
But dude, it's just like, for me, it's like, hey, I want to experience life. Like I want to actually like, good, bad, or indifferent, like have some of those experiences to where it's like, I don't want to be the end of my life and just be like, well, I worked real hard at my job and
you don't want
it sucks.
The flash before, at the end, you want what flashes before your eyes to be like a succession of really nice rooms. You want experiences. You want connections. I really vibe with that, man.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care where I live, I don't expect to ever live in a really nice house, or I don't expect to have financial insecurity. I don't expect to have as much financial security as some of my peers.
Yeah.
But I do think that I can like still lead a life where I'm loved and where I make connections with people and where I have a lot of like happy memories to look back on. And that's fucking as good. Yeah. That's what it's about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, human connection, I think, is at the precipice of that thought too. It's just like influencing people's lives, having your life influenced by other people. Like, just, I don't know. I feel like the older that I get, I keep having more and more of the relating to the idea that everybody feels the way you feel. Like, everybody feels exactly the way you feel, regardless of race, gender, religion, all that shit. The anxiety, the feeling of like nobody likes me, like the longing for connection, all that shit. It's like, it's the universal thing. And if you never acknowledge it, and if you never seek it out or are vulnerable enough to somebody that they feel comfortable that they can give that back to you, you never experience that shit, you know? I think so many people are just so closed off trying to be like a vision of what they think they're supposed to be that they never like express their vulnerabilities to their closest friends to where they can be like, I feel that too, you know, and it's okay. You know, and I think that's the real key to life.
No, man, you're absolutely right. Dude, how awesome is Kevin Tinkin, dude? How fucking great is Kevin Tinkin?
I'm so thrilled to be here on Brain Jail.
Dude, hey, let's start crying, you know?
Do you guys want to know something really awesome? There's like 3 dead bugs in my whiskey, and I have not stopped drinking. No, do you see them? Seriously?
Holy shit, yes.
How did they get there?
They flew in there.
Yeah, some gnats just flew over and the fumes got them.
I've known that they've been in there for the past 80 minutes. They've been in there since the regular episode.
It's fine. They're totally sterilized at this point.
We are. You know what? Let me tell you something, dude.
Swallow those bugs.
We're all part of the same
swallow
vibration.
them
Chug
bugs.
it.
No, I can't. If I chug this, all right. You know what? You really want me to chug it?
Chug it.
Here, before you do that, here, I'll do one last. And then we'll chug together.
I have a tough time with this whiskey.
It's really strong.
Eat the bugs.
No, you can't chug it yet. We got to cheers.
He's already doing it. Eat the bugs. Hell yeah.
Did you chug it?
I think I'm gonna throw up.
Is it gone?
No, there's a little bit in there. Do you want it?
No. I was gonna clink and chug with you.
No, Kevin. I'll clink with you, but I wanted to get over with.
Did you eat the bugs?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't think I did, but I totally did. Look, they're gone.
No specs.
I can't believe I bullied you into eating bugs.
Oh, dude, you can tell me to do whatever, dude. Let me tell you something. If you tell me that you're Alistair Begg or Greg Laurie or whoever runs the Kingdom Man show on the Christian radio in Los Angeles, I will do whatever you say. You know what I learned about Kingdom Men? They keep their women in line.
100%.
Can't have an uppity woman, dude. That's not. They won't let you into the kingdom if you have a woman with opinions.
That's right.
Kevin knows about that.
You gotta keep them in line. Dude, every once in a while.
6:05. Where's dinner?
Yeah. Dude, every once in a while, I'll see like people like seeking out relationship advice, and we're like, "Yeah, my girl pretty much tells me what to do all the time, and like she said we can't do this, and she wants things to be." And I'm like, I'm just looking at my buddies like, I would not stand for that shit for one fucking second. And she wants you to tell her she's fucking stupid.
Absolutely.
Like, you got to stand up. You know what I mean? Maybe
That's
this is
right,
the
dude.
whiskey talking, but women want to be led.
They want to, dude.
You gotta lead them.
You know, and
Tell them they want to be told what to do because they're fucking stupid.
They
don't know what the fuck to do. They're just dumb.
They want special made, handcrafted leather wrist restraints.
Yeah, they're just
That's what they want, dude.
They're just hanging out or just watching their eggs slowly die, just hoping some man will finally lead them in
That's
their
right,
life.
dude.
You know,
Every woman wants to wear a leather dog suit with a leash attached and a ball gag built into the muzzle.
That's why
I'm
women want to
no
date
women.
me, is because they see me and they can sense like a commanding, confident
yeah.
presence.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, they see you in under 5'10", and they're just like, "Who is this fucking
Yeah.
sharp-dressed alpha male?"
So much power it just compacted down.
Yeah.
Is even more power.
I bet he has almost what's considered a medically normal amount of testosterone.
Dude, I gotta. Get,
I told my girlfriend, I said, when we started dating, I said, "Now don't get it twisted. I'm a beach ass."
I just literally like almost threw up. I have the same problem. Like my eyes are watering. It was so spicy.
It's really, really strong.
My
dude. I
eyes
can't
are
believe-
watering from like just you guys drinking it next to me. Like I keep having to rub my eyes because they like sting.
It's strong. It's some strong stuff.
I don't know if I ever had the rye.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
My girlfriend's Asian, and I tell her, listen here, sister girl. I ain't afraid to beat your black ass.
That's right. Sister girl.
Sister
Hey,
girl.
let me tell you something, honey chow pumpkin pie.
Honey chow pumpkin pie, sister girl.
Dude,
I will beat your black ass so you look like the purple people on the art of the wall at Popeyes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yes, I do.
Have you guys seen
Fucking
those
love
people
Popeyes.
on the wall at Popeyes?
Yes.
You have to beat your. Let me tell you something. Listen now. You have to beat your woman until she's the same color as the caricatures on the wall at Popeyes.
This is why you subscribe to the Patreon, folks.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the only way to be a kingdom man.
Get the
Yeah.
real shit. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brendan. This is really, really strong whiskey. I wonder if the bugs had any impact on like.
No, that's extra filling. That's
So
gonna
sick
sober
you
you
ate
up.
those bugs, dude.
Dude, it's not the first time I've eaten bugs to prove something.
That was dope. That was dope. You know, I remember my daughter came home. She was in 3rd grade. And she goes, man, I met this girl. She's really cool. I really like her. Like, she ate a worm today, Dad. I'm like, what?
Hell yes, dude.
She's like, yeah, she ate an earthworm. And I'm like, okay. She's like, she's really cool. I'm like, that is pretty cool. Like, she ate an earthworm. I'm like, good, like, cool. They're interesting.
Yeah, that's what Gen Z's doing now. They all eat
They
worms.
eat worms. They smoke DMT before 7th grade.
Yeah,
dude.
it's all fluid, man. It's all fluid.
Do you
They're
think there's
wearing
kids like
dresses.
smoking DMT as like their first drug?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. My first drug was salvia.
Your first drug was
That
salvia?
makes sense.
Dude, actually, you know what? Not my first, but my second. It was weed. Well, I guess I don't really count alcohol, but it was weed, then alcohol, then salvia. And I thought that salvia was going to be more like a more earth-shattering experience, but it's not really for me.
Oh, man. For me, it was the most hallucinogenic thing I've ever done.
That's so interesting because I smoked. I packed 30x into a is salvia 30x. That was like how the packet was listed. I packed it into a weed one hitter that I had. Now, when I do psychedelics, I get a lot of visuals. Salvia gives me no visuals, but it gives me the very strong impression that my face is being cleaved in half by like a cosmic hatchet.
Really?
Yes, and that I'm splitting into kind of actually what I would compare it to. It's ironic you bring up worms. The impression that I got was like it's like when you cut a worm in half and both halves live. That was how I felt the first time I smoked salvia, but I've never gotten visuals from it.
Dude, the first time I did LSD was with my buddy Chris Cruz, great comic, great friend, Fresno guy, and he told me afterwards because I had a great experience and I just remember like being very lucid and very like talkative and just deep and everything. And he's like, "You're not freaking out at all." Like he's like, "You have a very strong mind," and I think I do. I mean, I don't know if that's cocky or whatever.
No, it makes sense.
But I remember when I did salvia, the first one I was on a huge monster truck tire. I was going around and around, and I would see the people that I was doing salvia with, and the one guy that didn't do salvia, and I'd be like, oh yeah, oh shit, he didn't do it, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, he's cool. And then he'd go around, and I'd see him, oh shit, and oh he's cool, that's right, and then come around, and then by the 4th time I did salvia, I was so used to it that I was like. I remember telling my buddy Blake, we were in his garage. I'm like, I'm on a train. Yay! I'm like, yay!
Yay.
I'm on a train. Your entire garage is flat. It's just flying by me, and I'm having the full hallucination. But I'm pissed because it's boring.
This is
Damn.
This
Yeah.
is so. This for me is what when you have people who have like concurrent psychedelic experiences from because I've had some people tell me like, well, don't you think that like people seeing the same things when they do psychedelics because we're all similar on like a on like
Chemically,
an amygdala level, but I've had such varied psychedelic experiences in other situations that when I do tap into things that other people have tapped into in very specific ways, it does seem to tell me like, okay, I think there might be something more to like vibrating at like a higher level of consciousness.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like the vibration depicts the type of trip that you have, type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
It's like you're changing the channel on your trip.
Yeah, and there are channels that maybe we've all tuned into and seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's why this whole thing about I was talking about on the non-Patreon episode, where this guy was saying that it was all about meditating to speak with, like, to channel these aliens with their astral projected bodies towards you, because you're on the same level mentally that you're communicating without worrying about the physics of travel.
Yeah.
It's another thing where, like, I used to meditate. I've fallen out of it, but but periodically I'll do medical studies to make like 10K in like a week and a half. And
really,
in some of these medical studies, you have to wear like an EKG halter, which like measures all your vitals. And when you're wearing an EKG, you have to be completely still for at minimum 5 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, to the point where like you can't move your head, you can't talk, and it's really hard for some patients. But for me, because I used to meditate, it's really easy. And I've kind of lost patience for meditating. But when I do the EKG thing, I will slip back into a meditative state where like I won't get strong visuals like I'm doing LSD, but I will slip into like semi-psychedelic states of mind where like I start to be unable to separate myself from like an example is I can't separate myself from like the beeping of like the vitals machine that I'm hooked up to.
Yeah.
And so, and that's a completely sober experience. You can't have any drugs in your system when you do that. And it's interesting that I can achieve like similar states of like altered consciousness, like with nothing in my system.
Well, that's what like the monk that Terrence McKenna visited that took a huge swig of his LSD 25
did nothing,
and it did nothing.
Did nothing.
Yeah.
It's that story
you hear about
trips
that?
me out so much, dude.
So when LSD was being formulated in a lab, when they synthesized it, thank you. I was trying to figure out
Hoffman's
the word.
formula.
Yeah, they synthesized it. And at that time, there was no stigma about what LSD was. So they essentially, these scientists were like giving out the formula and giving people like just tons of LSD, like bottles full of LSD. And just to go, hey, experiment with this. We don't know what the fuck this is. It won't kill you. We need to get research on this. And
There was a lot less fear going into it.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of good shit out of it, a lot of amazing medical discoveries. But one of the things, like Terrence McKenna, I think it was Terrence McKenna.
It was Terrence McKenna, I'm pretty sure.
He visits this monk who's basically telling him that the experience that you're having on LSD is the exact same experience that you can have through deep meditation. And he was like this Zen master or whatever. And Terrence McKenna gives him the bottle of LSD. Like one little on a square little stamp will fuck you up. This guy takes a full fucking swig of it, and it does nothing to him at all.
Because he just is already so unlocked.
He was already in such a state of meditation.
LSD trickle down your throat, you've had a higher dose than most people can even conceive. If you can feel the liquid of it, and the fact that it did absolutely nothing to this. That's one of my favorite accounts where it's just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
that is reminding me of like a weirdo. Like I don't know, because I've just been on UFO subreddits for like the last couple weeks, and
dude, we didn't get into it.
I know. Well,
We can.
Yeah, we can.
How long can you hang out,
I don't.
Kevin?
Forever. I got nothing.
Hell yeah.
I have no job.
Yeah.
My job is to watch my kids. My wife is eternally happy with me because she's, I don't know, delusional or something. It's insane. I literally can. She's fine as long as I'm not dead. She's okay.
But I don't remember any like the details of like who this was or whatever, but it was this person discussing their communication with aliens. And I remember getting a sense of like, I was like, oh, I think that this is bullshit, but also it's the kind of thing that like I don't think this person's telling the truth that this happened to them, but this sounds very plausible that this is what aliens would be like and what they would be doing.
Yeah.
Which was basically like they were communicating with aliens. The aliens aren't from another planet, they're from another dimension, and they've come here, and you can communicate with them either by tripping or by like the aliens prefer that you get there by meditating.
Yeah.
But you can get there by tripping. And that what the aliens are here to do is they've been working since the 40s trying to repair the souls of the people who died in the nuclear bombs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it did remind me of Twin Peaks.
I didn't get that subtext out of Twin Peaks.
Have you seen the new season?
Yes.
Explicitly with the bomb, with like the Trinity nuclear test and the creatures coming out of the nuclear explosion.
Yeah, except
Dude, I gotta watch
that
it again because I totally missed that.
Oh, episode 8, it literally shows the nuclear Trinity test, and that tears a hole in our reality that brings in like Bob and Jowday and all those spirits.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta watch that again.
Yeah, but I was just like, oh man, how fucked would you be if your soul is fucked from a nuclear bomb, and now it has to get fixed before you can even go into the afterlife.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
It's funny, man. Not to draw it completely between weeks, but it's crazy how much that resonated with me. Where it's like, oh yeah, that was like it was the ultimate act of evil, and it's because we literally messed with like molecular reality to bring pain to innocent people.
Yeah.
You know,
Does David Lynch do drugs?
He does transcendental meditation. He's very into it. I think
He's got to have done.
he has done drugs. I don't think he's like a big like evangelist for drugs, but he's really into transcendental meditation.
He's really productive.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Like
he is.
for like a drug guy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, but
He's also very old for someone who smokes that many cigarettes.
yeah.
I hope
He's
he lives
probably
forever.
tapping into some shit, dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a Netflix show coming out that like went into production.
I'm
What's
excited
it
about
called?
it.
Wisteria.
Really?
That's the working title. It might be called something else.
Dude, hell yeah. I love David Lynch. He's a psycho.
He is the fucking man, dude. Have you heard? You know, he was supposed to direct Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
No,
yeah.
what? I haven't heard of that.
Oh, you
Yes.
haven't heard the story of George Lucas trying to recruit him to direct Return of the Jedi? It's because they wanted like a really artsy, like George Lucas loved David Lynch's. I think he saw The Elephant Man. And
that
he-
makes sense because like THX whatever is like shitty David Lynch.
Yeah, it's really artsy. And
Yeah.
dude, there's even shit in Return of the Jedi that is very Lynchian, like when Luke has the dream where he kills Darth Vader and then like he has his face. But apparently like George Lucas, like he took David Lynch, like he brought him out to consult on the movie. And David Lynch, the way David Lynch tells, he's like, and George took me into this room and he started showing me these things called Wookiees. And I got just about the worst headache I've ever had in my life.
Dude, can you imagine what a phenomenal failure Star Wars would have been if David Lynch
directed it?
It would have been so much, so amazing, but a huge, like a colossal failure.
And incredible. Yeah.
Well, that makes me curious. Like, I wonder if the original cut of A New Hope was weirder because, like, they say that movie got like heavily re-edited, and like that's the reason why.
It was partially because Brian De Palma watched it and he was the only one who was honest with George Lucas, where he was like, you cannot release this. As a matter of fact, this is so bad, you need to create a crawl of text in front to explain to people what's going on. And he's the guy who wrote that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's such a trip, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I only realized when I read something online where it's like, I only noticed then that like nobody ever verbally discusses the plan for like the final battle. You only see it on like screens
Yes.
because it had not been like written like that when they were.
They had to edit in. Well, dude, there's even, it's funny, you can watch like the stars on Johnny Carson. You can watch Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, I think it's just them two, on Johnny Carson talking about how frustrating the original script was, where they had to like beg George Lucas to change it because they're like, people don't talk like this. I can't deliver these lines.
That's insane, man.
But it's one of those things where it's like against all. Star Wars was honestly, it's kind of like a Terrence Malick movie. It was saved in the edit completely.
Wow.
Because there was an entire part up front. The footage actually still exists where like before we start out on the ship with the droids escaping, there was all this shit up front about like Luke wanting to be like a fighter pilot, all this shit like that was front loaded before we met him. But it's so much cleaner if you meet him after the droids like crash on fucking Tatooine.
What a trip.
Sorry, I didn't mean to fucking
No,
movie nerd out for a minute.
I like that shit. Because that movie's so iconic. It's so influential
Yeah.
on so many
Yeah.
people.
To know that it was a mess is very reassuring.
And
Yeah.
well, they were all a mess. Like
Yes.
every single Star Wars movie is like bad and was just fucking thrown together. I
Yeah.
don't understand how.
Horrible acting. Like the majority of the acting in all the Star Wars movies is complete dog shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like to hear that the script was a fucking mess, and it's like one of it's probably top 5 most influential movies.
It's one of the
franchise
culturally
ever.
defined. It created. It basically Star Wars and Jaws like created the blockbuster. It shifted what audiences wanted to see because William Friedkin talks about because he released a movie Sorcerer like a couple weeks before Star Wars, and he was an acclaimed director. He directed The French Connection, The Exorcist. He was like the go-to guy. And his movie Sorcerer is probably his best movie, and audiences overwhelmingly chose Star Wars over Sorcerer. It completely shifted the culture. in terms of what people wanted.
If anything, I think is, especially as a creative person, that just highlights the fact, and I've always kind of believed this, and it's kind of like that Field of Dreams thing. If you build it, they will come. Like the fact that, like, you know, we all three of us, we're artists. You know, we create shit, like, you know, criticism of yourself aside. Like,
my podcast where I bully my friend into eating bugs is my art.
This is complete artistry.
It is. It absolutely is. But I think even more so.
But honestly, I truly feel that way. I'm very proud of this podcast.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. You should be. But it really is one of those things, because I think as an artist, and I don't know if this is just mental health talking, but I think it is coupled with artistry and just the idea of wanting to create something out of your internal desire. There's so many internal forces that are telling you, don't do it. Like, don't do it. No, this sucks. Fuck. You're like, I do. Yeah. I have 9 journals that are joke journals, and I 90% of it is me rambling, going, I don't know what to say. I don't know what's going on. I got to say something. But is something funny in here? It's like, and just the whole time just talking shit to myself. But like examples like Star Wars, like you're talking about, it's just like, just fucking do it. Yeah. Just put that shit out. Make your movie. Try hard. It may be absolute garbage. Make another thing. Who gives a shit? Like, because this shit, it just seems like it's just the universe will conspire with you to try to make shit happen for you. It's Oprah's the Secret or whatever,
right?
Like,
absolutely,
it really is. You got to just do it.
I'm a maybe I don't know, maybe more than I should. I'm a big believer in manifesting. Yeah. I truly believe that I've like and what I don't know, because I look at my life and it's like there were all these things that I wanted when I was 13 years old. And it's not like I'm in an incredible position, but I've like achieved all these things that I thought were cool. I'm friends with people that I looked up to. I've done things that if you told me when I was 17 I'd done them, my mind would have been blown.
You'd feel like that's a cool dude.
That's cool. And I know that I've done it because I told myself I was going to do it, and I believed I was going to do it. Yeah. And I manifested it in some way.
And what's the alternative?
Not doing.
The alternative is not you're not cool anymore. Like, the alternative is like, you don't try, so then you don't fail. So now you're still cool as a guy who never fucking tried.
Exactly.
Like, fuck that guy.
You're a could have been guy.
Yes.
I totally could have. Yeah.
Because that I think that like desire to like want to be cool, like, oh, I'm not going to make this because if I try to do this thing, or if I say this thing on stage, or whatever you're doing, paint this thing or whatever.
Oh yeah, a comedy in particular, this is like death for. And it weirdly is like a trait I see in successful people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like,
bizarrely,
right now, I think the big antithesis to comedy, to the creative process of trying to be funny, is this fear of canceling. Like, this fear of like, oh, I can't say this because I'll get canceled and all this and stuff. And I think, like, yes, it's a thing that can happen. But I think more than anything, I think most comedians and creative people will use this idea that they could get canceled. They manifest it in a way to reward themselves and pat themselves on the back for doing nothing at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're like, I didn't do anything, so I'm a good guy. Like, you could have tried.
Also, like, at my level, like, I've had that fear, but it's like, oh, well, I can't get... What canceled actually means to me is just that, like, the cool kids at the open mic won't like me, which they already don't. So fuck them.
It's been really rewarding to start a podcast and like find an audience and outside of the industry, like an audience that's been more lucrative to us than any amount of like of the traditional path to stand up has ever been, right? And just be like, we're already doing what would happen if we got kicked out of the industry. So who gives a fuck about the industry?
Right.
You know what I mean? We should keep doing the thing that we think is actually good.
Hollywood's dead.
Like,
it's completely, dude.
It's completely dead.
It's completely dead.
The only reason that I want like that kind of success anymore is just because, like, I would love to make a TV show to do it. Like, like, if you gave me money to make a TV show and then no one but me ever saw it, I would be like, great, sick.
Yeah,
like, that's what I want.
But you know what? You can literally facilitate that. I mean, I look at Gillian Keeves as a great example. Gillian Keeves, if you watch the shit that Shane Gillis and McKeever are making every week, it's
hilarious.
It's stronger then I would say the fucking first season of Key and Peele. It deserves to be on Comedy Central, but it actually has a fucking larger audience on YouTube than if it was on cable television.
That's what I'm saying.
And that to me is so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to go through the traditional things anymore. I mean, the traditional route to success in Hollywood was you do a set in front of somebody that cares. You get on Carson, or you get on late night, and somebody
then you get a sitcom.
Yeah, you get a sitcom.
Yeah. I think
you're not in control at the sitcom. You don't fucking you and then every interview you can't say what you really feel about things. You're totally raped of your own autonomy. Yeah. You know, you lose everything.
it's the worst way that anyone could be raped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's I think, and that's what we've been trying to say. Is traditional rape isn't that bad.
Yeah. Industry rape is the real problem.
That's
Yeah.
the real problem. Patreon.
Which is sometimes literal rape.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. On many occasions, actually, industry rape is in fact literal rape.
The famous double rape. The Corey Haim, if you
Yeah.
will.
Nothing worse than
Oh
that, dude.
God, I heard you say it out loud.
Yeah, someone who sucks Harvey Weinstein's dick, and then they read the script of the movie he gets them. They're like, "This?
For
Yeah.
this? This is why?
This is bad. Crash. You're the
Yeah.
star of Crash. Did you guys ever see that movie, Crash?
Yeah, I watched Crash.
Not the race Crash. The one that was about the people that got off on car crashes.
Oh, that movie's great.
That movie's so fucked.
That's a David Cronenberg movie. I love 1996 Crash. The 2004 Crash is not my fucking thing. That movie's cringe.
That movie's but the 1996 Crash is so fucked. It's so fucking weird.
Here's what's great about it. That movie is David Cronenberg basically like. It's like he did Videodrome, he did Denver, he did like these movies where he was really like, how fucking weird can I get? And then he put out Crash, and everybody was like, that is too fucking weird for us.
Dude, I went to the theater on the day that was released with a press thing because I was part of the movie club for our high school.
Oh, dude.
And I was a Christian boy, a good Christian boy, and watched that and had to write a review for the school paper on that movie as a Christian.
He literally makes the wounds that they suffer like look vaginal and like dude and that's a great James Spader role. Crash, that James Spader's the lead guy in that.
Yeah, no, he did. I mean, it's good acting.
You don't like
good
it. I'm
acting.
sorry. I might be too. You might. I really love Crash. I feel like you might not like it.
I didn't like it. I did not like it.
I love Crash. I think it's Cronenberg's best movie.
It was definitely like an art piece. Without a doubt. Like it was like an artistic, like this is unusual and weird. But when I was 16 and sitting next to Billy Lee, who was in charge of the newspaper, and we're watching this, I'm just like, my mom would be so disappointed.
So bummed out that I'm watching people fucking get off on car crashes.
Yeah, and it was like the first time like I'd seen like porn shit, like titties in a regular movie because I was there for the school paper. So weird.
Yeah, dude, that movie, it's a real exploration of like the depths that people will go to like pursue their particular depravity.
Yeah, to come,
dude.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
So, all right, Kevin gives it a thumbs down. I give it a Roger Ebert thumbs up. Crash.
I think
I'll
a
give it
more-
a thumbs up to watch it. Watch that shit.
I
It's
think a
fucking
more
crazy.
harrowing and realistic example of how far someone will go to like live their fetish is it should be a movie about a guy becoming a Hollywood director.
Harvey Weinstein just like filling girls' pussies with fucking soil and planting a seed and just being like, I'm gonna stay there. When this sprouts a plant, I'm gonna jack off into it.
I just came into the plant.
Hey, that's
it. What?
Completely innocent.
Dude, that has to be like some sort of like the production company card that they show before the movie. Like
It's a pussy
it's
with
Harvey
a-
Weinstein coming into a plant.
Yeah, it's like the
Weinstein production.
or what's Adam Sandler's production company where like
Happy Madison?
Yeah, Happy Madison, where like it zooms out and there's like a man there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm about to come.
But he has his dick like over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Have you? It's funny. While we're on the, Brendan, have you seen Existence?
No.
It's similar to The Matrix. It's a Cronenberg movie. It's another VR movie about people who like, but it's this weird alternate future where like VR machines are these biological devices. They look like organs that like have these weird fleshy.
What is this again?
Existenz. It's a Cronenberg. It was kind of a Cronenberg like return to form where he's like, I'm going to do body horror again, but the budget isn't quite there. But it's one of the most interesting takes on like VR and alternate realities that I've seen.
I've never seen it. I got to check that out.
It's really, really interesting.
Is it pretty horny?
It's pretty horny, dude. Like, all of his movies are very tied into like body horror horniness. I mean, fucking in Videodrome, like James Woods grows a vagina in his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a weird choice, man.
Yeah, and in Naked Lunch, they're gay, which is just as wild
That's
out there.
completely. I mean, that's like from another
Fetish.
planet, dude.
Yeah.
That's total fetish.
Oh man.
I really I like him because it's funny. Like, and then in like 2004 on, he just did like psychological dramas. Like, he completely moved away from the body horror genre.
Yeah.
Like Eastern Promises, Dangerous Method. It's like they're just like very like grounded movies.
Yeah. It was no Hunger Games. But it was pretty good.
True. You're right, Kevin. Sorry, guys. I drank 3 Brugs. I'm pretty.
I love it. Feeling free. So you guys are getting back into stand up? Like have you performed yet?
I've done
no.
I've done one mic in the past like year.
Was it a garbage mic or was it?
It
like
was garbage.
Legit?
It was garbage enough that I was like, fuck it, I'll wait until comedy's actually back.
Yeah.
I seem to have this cycle with stand up where like I will write. If I try to do bits when I write them, I can't figure them out. But then when I look back on them a year later, I'm like, oh, it's so clear what this joke is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Which I always feel self-conscious about, but I'm like, I guess that's just my process.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but on a similar note, like I've done jokes. I mean, I've been doing it for almost 10 years now, and it's like there's jokes that I've done where it will be like 5 years into doing a joke, doing it well. I'm only doing it because it works, but then it'll be 5 years later, and I'll go, that's why that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like I don't know if you've had that revelation where like, because like you were saying about a pod, it was one of you.
I think we were talking about it
about a podcast to where it's kind of like in the moment and you're not having to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
And for me, when I do stand up, the way that I'm able to like connect with anything fucking funny when I'm up there is to reinstill that original context of why I thought this was funny from the very beginning. And instead of like thinking of it as a series of words, thinking of it as a visual picture that I'm repainting with with new words every time.
So that's why podcasting is the paradox for me is I'm most excited about a joke when I write it. That's when I have it the least figured out. But what's exciting about a podcast is because I have this weird thing where like by the 3rd or 4th week that I'm doing a joke, I'm already like, I should have different jokes by now.
Absolutely.
This feels artificial. But a podcast is great because every week I get to come on here, be unfiltered. You're seeing like just fully like me being a person being funny.
Yeah.
You know, in the moment. And it's much more rewarding than doing stand-up for me.
Well, a podcast is great because it reinforces the reason why you thought you should get into comedy.
Right.
Because you were funny with your friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and it's so
many comics, so many stand-ups, I can't imagine them ever like being funny at the lunch table.
Yeah.
Well, they're not.
Yeah.
Dude, that was one of the weirdest. It's funny because I remember when I first got to LA, I did a mic where I bombed. It was like this mic in a basement.
No.
Oh, absolutely. Jace was hosting, and it's funny. Initially, I think I had animosity toward Jace because I bombed so hard.
At Clubhouse?
No, not Clubhouse. It was at somebody's house, like in the basement.
The murder room?
I think it was the murder room.
Best.
You and me, we were vibing initially, like we were making each other laugh, just riffing. Then I went up, did material that I'd written that week, bombed like crazy, and Jace came up after me, and he was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go home and hang myself." and it was truly the dichotomy of like me like making people laugh in the moment, feeling likable, and then going on stage with the stuff that I had been thinking about too much, and it not working.
Yeah. I'm in a hell like pit when it comes to comedy writing because I've had so much. I was about to say I've had so much success. I have had enough success going up with zero. I stopped writing set lists like 3 years ago. I don't do set lists. I stopped writing any of my jokes down, and I would write down an idea, and then I would go on stage, and I would do it that way. And so now I am so fucked because I can't sit down and just like write a joke. I have to do it on stage because I got used to it, and I was getting like rewarded for it. To where now, like when I sit down to write, because I know intellectually that that's how you get good material, or that's how you be intentional about your art that you're creating. But then I'm just like, I can't buy in because I don't have that immediate gratification while I'm at the park, watching two homeless people throw a frisbee or whatever, which is the park that I go to. It's a very specific park.
It's a dog park for people.
There's three people there. It's you. It's the two homeless people.
But yeah, dude, like I went up for the first time after a fucking year of not doing live performance, like a month ago, and I did the same shit and it worked, and I was like, yes. And then I got off stage and I was like, fuck. Like I just rewarded myself for not writing at all for an entire year. Right. Like, and I felt kind of weird.
But you know what's funny?
However it comes out, it's fine.
As we move away, I think that every year recorded performance gets less and less valuable. I think that stand-up has the most value as something that the audience is there in the moment to experience. Because I feel like, honestly, like 7% of all stand-up is actually worth being recorded. Just based off even like specials or CDs that I've listened to. So I feel less self-conscious about like.
So you're better than everybody. I get it.
No. I'm joking. I'm not even including myself in that 7%. I'm just saying like I feel less self-conscious about stand-up being like a messier, unpolished thing if you have an audience already that's willing to see it. And I hope to build that audience through other avenues.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually weirdly like because at the beginning of the pandemic, I realized. I was already kind of feeling it was weird because I had taken like 6 months off stand up, then I came back, and then the pandemic happened, and then I was just kind of like grappling. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever do stand up again, and I certainly don't want to do any of these jokes again. So I'll cut together like not an album but like a mixtape out of fucking open mic sets, and I did that, and I put it out, and I made like hundreds of dollars off of it, of like our podcast listeners, and like really great feedback, and it kind of made me more like, oh, I think it'd be fun to look at stand up as like, oh, I'll go up, I'll get this clip so that it's for the people online who I actually care about, because there's fucking no hope of in this town people being like, oh, he's funny, let's put him on a show.
Fuck those guys though. Seriously, that's the way to do it, man.
The recontextualizing stand-up as a way for me to like spontaneously connect with people who already like me has made it, in my mind, a much more comfortable thing, instead of like this thing that you have to refine and craft so that one day when the right person sees you, you'll be ready. Yeah, because that's what was making me not enjoy it.
Yeah. Well,
so especially out here, it's like they already decided they didn't like you before you did the set.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Well, I had a set, and then I've told this story before, but Patreon, whatever.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, but I did.
At this point, we're just hanging.
Yeah, it was a hang, dude.
I did a set at Hot Tub. You guys know Hot Tub.
The hat bit.
Yeah, I did the hat bit.
Is it the hat bit set?
It's that recorded bit.
The fucking video that's pinned on your Twitter. I love that bit, dude.
Yeah,
I retweeted it to the Coward Hour account.
Hell yeah. But I did that set, and I got off stage, and Tim Dillon was there. And I have tons of respect for Tim Dillon, especially when it comes to his stand-up. He's brilliant, and he gave me an amazing compliment after that set. And because I work at Hot Tub, I'll do lights and sound and stuff for Hot Tub sometimes. I know who's there because I can see on the list they have like a list of people that you just let them in automatically. And I knew that there were 7 people there that had major influence on the industry. There was four comedy managers, and there was 2 executives, and then there was a marketing guy. And having Tim compliment me was insanely uncomfortable because I have so much respect for him. But like kind of like really a real good compliment. Like I don't know if you experienced that where you're just like you almost can't believe it. And I felt.
Did he say anything specific you want to share, or?
He told me that's the best set that he'd ever seen anybody do at Hot Tub.
Wow.
And he's
Hell
like,
yeah.
he goes, that's the best set I've ever seen anybody do at this show. That was amazing. Great set, dude. You're fucking hilarious. And I just was like on cloud nine. That lasted maybe 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Because 7 minutes later, I realized that there were 7 people there that could put me in something, and none of them talked to me. And I just remember leaving there, and that was like the beginning of the end for me, because I was like, I just did the best I could possibly do in front of people
At a
that
high
mattered.
profile thing.
Yes, and nobody gave a fuck about me.
Do you know what's funny, man? I had the exact same experience at the Virgil, where I was on a show, and because of the way they were breaking it up, I got put in like a very tough position where I was like the one white guy on the show, and they're like, "We're gonna put you between Sam J and Tiffany Haddish because the way the host put it was like, because you're different than them."
That's what a wow. What a left-handed like pleasure of like
But and I didn't do new jokes. I did my established shit, but I went up and I had a really, really good set. And I struggle with comedy, but I will be I'll pat myself on the back for this because I was proud of how well I did. And both Sam J and Tiffany Haddish at the end of the show were like, they didn't have to fucking say this. They were like, you were really funny. That was a really good set. The writing on this joke was really funny. And I was like, damn, this feels amazing. Like, these people are like, they're both huge now.
yeah.
And I couldn't get booked to that show again because I hit the bookers up. I won't say what show it was, but I hit them up again in a couple months, and then I hit.
Why
them up
won't you say what show it was?
Patreon, baby. Come on, baby.
It was. I don't even know if it's still a show. It was the Truth or Dare show.
Okay.
But you do Truth or Dare, but you also do 10 minutes of a regular set.
Yeah,
It's not like it was a gag show. And I fucking hit the bookers up afterwards. I had a good set. I had a better set than most of the people there. And I was like, I would love to do the show again. I had so much fun. And we have a policy with white guys where we try to only if you're a straight white guy and you've done the show, we try not to book you until a year has passed. So I was like, all right, that's fair. I didn't think it was, but I was like, whatever. And I hit them up after a year had passed, and they just didn't get back to me. And I was like, this is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to be frustrated about it because you have lived a life of privilege your whole life as a straight white male.
Yeah.
And everything's been handed to you. And how dare you have a complaint?
Meanwhile, there are people, and I'm not even going to say that I don't because in some aspects of life, I completely get it, right? I'm not going to disagree with that assessment. But it was frustrating because there were people on that show specifically who I know have literally had everything handed to them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's most of who succeeds in it burns me up turning on HBO Max and having to see Hannah Einbinder flashing at me now all the time.
Yeah.
Patreon.
Who I love. I love Hannah Einbinder as a person. I'm personal friends with her. She's an amazing individual. But just watching anybody, it has nothing to do with their personality or their talent or anything. Watching anybody come in and within 2 years have a sitcom on HBO.
Especially somebody who is born into industry connections. It's,
Yes.
And here's the thing.
I love her. She's a great person, but it's just fucked up.
it's frustrating.
It bothers me less the success as it does the dozens and dozens, the hundreds of people who all pretend that it was earned. Everybody who's like, wow, she's amazing. She's such an original voice. It's really? Because I saw the set.
Right.
Yeah.
I watched.
And we're all going to pretend that her mom wasn't on SNL. Everybody somehow forgets that.
Yep. Original cast member SNL. It's one of those things. I always think of this. I always think of stuff like that as I have two brains. I have two motivational engines in my mind. And one of those motivational engines is a dad who's he's just honest with you. And he's you failed because you didn't try hard enough, or, sure, you didn't get it, but you could do more, right? You could definitely do more. You're more talented than this. You can do more than that. And just keep going and whatnot. And then I have my mom brain. And my mom brain's man, we're just so proud of you for getting out there. Look at you. You're succeeding just because you tried. And so I have these bits of information oh, that's fucking nepotism. That's fucking bullshit. I have 3 conversations that were just like that. Hey, great set, dude. Fucking good shit. And I'm awesome. Hey, I'd love to work here. I'd love to, and this is a Comedy Store specific. I'd love to work here. I'd love to be involved in any way possible. Hey, we're not really looking for straight white guys right now.
Right.
You know, I've had that happen to me 3 times, and that's my dad's going. My dad brain's going. Yeah, fuck them. Keep going. Fuck them. Keep going.
I have the same thing.
And then I have to have that other thing that goes, that acknowledges, honey, I'm so sorry. That shouldn't have happened to you. That was so fucked up. You're right. Her mom was an original cast member, and you didn't get it because I'm sorry that I wasn't involved in the industry, you know, when you were a baby.
Yeah.
But, you know, but you're so talented, and just keep going.
Well,
and I have to balance those two.
I think dad brain is useful because it's like, you know, you can get, but the reality is, all right, this is the way things are. They're not going to give you a shot.
Yeah.
Find another avenue.
Yes.
And it's worthwhile, I think, to point out the unfairness and the, you know, the perceived inequality.
Yeah.
You know, and even when I check myself, it's like, all right, I have lived a somewhat privileged existence. All that, I'm not going to say that's completely invalidated.
Well, to acknowledge the feeling, it feels fucking weird to complain about any of this shit.
It does
Because
it's
of the
ultimately this is a frivolous.
I have to remember that, like, I chose the one thing ever where, like, it would, like,
where it doesn't benefit you to be a straight white guy.
Yeah, like being a straight white guy has benefited me in everything in my life except for comedy.
Right. But being frustrated and raging against it, it's like, all right, we'll just start. All right, figure out where the avenue is that will lead to success.
Yeah. And I'll even say it's benefited me in comedy until I got to the point where I was like, all right, can I do this for a living?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you find the avenue where you can fit in, and I think the truthful thing is, as many positives and negatives are as there are to like social media and YouTube and all this shit, you can tap directly into the audience that likes you.
Yeah.
And if you're fucking good, it'll only grow, and you can find a way to monetize.
Well,
it.
and that's the dad who's going, oh, you didn't get your sitcom. Stop being a fucking pussy, dude. The internet exists.
Right.
You can put out your own content. Nobody's stopping you. What are these people stopping you from putting out your own content? You can make a movie right now with your fucking iPhone. Stop being a pussy and complaining about HBO because some woman got something after doing 2 years of comedy. Who gives a shit? Shut the fuck up. Pick up your iPhone and make something. Stop being a little bitch. And then my mom's going, you should probably just stay home and watch some TV. I mean, you've tried so hard. You deserve so much more. And I'm going, yeah, you're right, Mom. I appreciate you. And I don't do shit. I just sit at home and I just get pissed. I watch Hacks and I'm like, fuck it.
Oh, God, you shoot people in the face to deal with it.
Yeah.
You watch her late night set with the stolen joke in it.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, fucking
Hey, Dad, dude, that was so complicated because the lady that she stole the joke from allegedly, I'm like, I've been at Mike's with her and she's a crazy person.
See, this is new information. I didn't hear about this.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, allegedly, Hannah Einbinder was accused of stealing a joke by a woman who I've done mics with, who I can tell you is like certifiably insane. But the joke is similar.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do I fall on this issue?
Dude, what a fun dynamic.
I mean, there's never been a better time to be in comedy, guys.
Yeah. No, real talk. I mean,
Anyway, the person who can steal a joke from a literal crazy person and be like, that's a strong enough part of my set to be on late night.
Yes.
That's the boldest, most original new voice in comedy.
You gotta put her,
Absolutely.
dude.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You know the Jean Smart, the lady who's the lead on Hack? She was also one of the leads in Fargo season 2, my favorite season.
Yeah.
She was like do you see this fucking bug crawling on the wire, dude?
I do.
What is with these bugs?
You know what?
Eat that.
They love whiskey like me. I'll eat these fucking bugs. Can you give it to me? Give me that bug. Put it on my finger. There's a Patreon, guys. What are you can't stop me.
I can't wait.
Behind a $5 paywall. What are you gonna do?
Tomorrow you wake up, you're like, I fucking hate bugs on Patreon.
That bug had COVID.
You start eating bugs off the camera.
Gene Smart might. So this guy that your roommate Ryan knows, he released a comedy rap album, and I guess he took an acting class with Gene Smart. So like Gene Smart was there at this small bar in Hollywood, and the whole time I was trying to like muster up the courage to talk to her until she just like left halfway through the performance, and I was like, damn. I guess I'm not gonna get to fuck 60-year-old Gene Smart.
You blew it, dude.
I completely blew it, dude.
Yeah.
That's the way to get in, though, too. I mean, that's another
Fucking
thing,
a
too.
beautiful 60-year-old actress queen.
Fucking somebody. Yeah, that's
You do.
it's
I will
another way to
say,
get in.
if you can fuck somebody who can get you some shit, you got to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
We'll definitely do that.
I gotta call fucking Corey Haim and be like, hey, where do I go to get molested?
There's a call Corey in the afterlife. Is that what
Oh.
you have to?
What's the other one? Corey Feldman?
Corey Feldman.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll
Dude,
call that
you,
one.
You need to join Corey's Angels.
What bungalow do I need to get fucked outside of
Yeah.
in the ass in order to get some leading roles in this town?
I'm like climbing the fence to Bryan Singer's pool, and he's like, no, too old.
You're like, I've
Gross.
pre-gaped my asshole. Please. Please. You're like, but I am the height of a child. You'll feel basically the same.
That's some pluses.
He's like, all right, shave.
Shave. We'll get you a
Shave,
role
put
in
some
X-Men.
moisturizer on.
Brendan, if we shaved you and waxed you, you would be a little boy.
No, I would look too old.
No, I think...
No, my face.
No, your skin's not that bad. Let me shave you and wax you. Let me nair you.
I don't under here. Look, there's gonna be rolls.
Can I tell you something? I want to nair you. I want to rub you in coconut oil. I want to try to attract some producers.
Now, this is a Patreon
This is a
episode.
Patreon episode.
This
now.
needs to happen. We need to get a massage table out here with some wax.
How
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
would that be, dude? To have you slicked up.
We should do an episode where I do it as the sushi table.
That would be so.
I have a mic
yeah.
laying sideways.
Hell
Oh yeah, dude.
Hot. Hot.
How sick would that be?
Want to spice up your love life. That's where you got to start.
I would love to put sushi on your cock. Just be like, damn, this more than covers it, Brendan. This is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Just do like one of those
You put a
onion
piece
ring
of-
towers.
No, you'd put a piece of like sashimi on my cock, and then someone would be like, "Oh, let me eat it off of his cock," and they'd grab my cock and try to. Like, oh, I got him confused.
We cut off your cock.
Dude, that's what that $5 will get you a lot, you know?
Yeah.
on this
I would love
podcast.
to. Now, do that. Here's the whole thing. Like with those, because this is what I don't understand with these businessmen. They eat the sushi off the naked chick. Does anybody fuck the naked chick? Because to me, it seems like a huge cock tease.
I think so.
You think they fuck 'em?
No. I think it's a huge cock tease. I never
that's
got
what they're into?
strippers or all that stuff. It's always weird.
Because I feel like if you're a naked Asian chick letting guys eat sushi off your naked body, it's like how much of a difference is like how much of a barrier you're crossing to let them all fuck you.
I wonder. I wonder.
This is what I wonder about you.
These are the real questions, you know?
This is gonna be Nick's set at the pipe mic tomorrow. I'll be like, "What's the deal?"
What's it with these Asian chicks who let him eat sushi off you? It's like, can I fuck them? Will I get tackled if I try to fuck the naked Asian sushi girl?
Hang Dang breaks his arm pulling his phone out.
Oh God, I hope Pang Dang's not there. I hope it's not Pang Dang who's got the sushi on his cock.
You never
I
know.
would
How
hope
terrible
not.
would that be?
No good.
I hope
No
it's
good.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably is.
I bet he
has.
has a completely hairless body that you could eat food off
Oh,
of.
for sure. I mean, he likes to get tied up to have sex. He's the lobster, dude. This is for just the people who listen to this and Red Bar. Sorry, I'm sorry, Kevin. We've gone completely off the rails.
Oh, don't apologize.
I've
It's
eaten
okay. We're-
4 bugs tonight, okay? This is a Patreon episode. What can I say?
We're almost 2 hours into this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've already decided I'm going to call the episode Nick Gets Drunk and Eat Bugs. So the people who don't subscribe to the Patreon are going to be like, where did he eat the bugs?
Yeah, dude, this is good. That's going to be a huge incentive for people to subscribe.
Yeah.
it's good.
That's good stuff.
Clickbait.
That's total clickbait.
Yeah.
How far have we sunk it that you're literally eating bugs to get people to subscribe to
I
the
like
Patreon?
fucking bugs, dude. That's what Africans people do, dude.
Yeah.
It's not. It's can I tell you something? To say that you won't eat bugs is first world privilege.
Classist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Elitist.
solidarity with the third world, dude.
That's right. That's right.
Have you
Yeah.
seen
We're
all
all
these
gonna be
Alex
eating
Jones
bugs.
people who are just like their mantra is like, I will not eat bugs. I will not eat bugs because they're trying to normalize eating bugs. Do you know that? The
Yeah.
NWO is trying to normalize eating bugs.
It's fine.
Where is Ben Avery right now?
Dude, I know. I miss
I mean,
the hell
we
out of
eat I mean, it's like all right. I'll eat a bug as long as it's fucking oversized and from the deepest part of the ocean, but we won't eat little bugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But then that makes me just want to not eat like lobster and shit.
no, I can't. I will
So-
not.
You see
stop
people are eating the
lobster.
cicadas?
Yeah, of course. They look
What do you
delicious.
mean?
Like the cicada, like the 7-year cicadas or whatever.
Yes.
People apparently they taste like shrimp. That's what
Really?
people
Yeah,
are saying.
because, dude, shrimp are fucking aquatic bugs.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I love I've been watching all these YouTube channels where a guy just is like, I spent 2 weeks on an island with my girlfriend, and he's just going out in the ocean and getting lobster out of the ocean.
Hell
and just
yes, dude.
cooking it up on the beach. I fucking love that shit.
Dude, you have to
So
use it
good.
and fuck. And the nicest, well, I prefer crabs to lobster because Lobster, you got to provide butter. The thing that's sick about Maryland crabs is they come with mustard inside them. Is it feces? Yes. Does it taste awesome? Yes.
Wow.
I will never stop eating the feces out of crabs. FYI.
That's a link right there. That's a clip right there. Dude,
Dude, literally.
I will never stop eating the shit out of a crab's ass.
Eating feces.
You
and
just
toxins.
hold the crab up and just suck out of the ass.
This is how trashy Maryland is. Eating feces and toxins out of the Maryland crab's body is a Maryland tradition. I will never stop doing it.
Out of the same body of water that gave our friend a terrible affliction.
Oh, that's our buddy Matt Harrison who got literally, what did he get? Fucking
Bell's palsy.
Bell's palsy from swimming in the Severn River. I've been swimming in the Severn
What?
River. Yes, dude. The Severn River is so irradiated. Eating a crab is easily worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes. I will never stop doing it. Okay.
But
the Severn River,
the shit out of their ass.
Dude, we gotta, you know how Dad Meat has barbecue every week? We gotta just have we gotta have crabs on the
Dude,
table.
well, the only way, the problem is people think they know crabs, but if you live anywhere but the Severn River, you're eating Dungeness crabs. Now, if you're having Dungeness crabs, you've been tricked and swindled. You need to eat Maryland blue crabs. It's the only real kind of crab there is.
Real talk, no bullshit. This is a real proposal. You guys should do a fucking mukbang with seafood and crabs, like as one of your episodes.
Dude, we can do that. We can go to the fucking seafood restaurant in the Baltimore Inner Harbor after the Autobar show. Do the mukbang with my Asian girlfriend, which will make it authentic.
Dude, real talk, dude, that would be fucking amazing. You guys just stuffing your faces with crab, you sucking a crab ass, the
I
shit
will
out.
suck the shit out of a crab ass, and you want to know why? Because I've been doing it for my entire life. I'm not gonna stop right now.
Complaining about nepotism while you eat a crab's ass.
I'll do anything to be famous.
Damn.
That would be
This is a great
hilarious.
Nick episode.
This is one of the all-time.
This is like when you watch like a jam band. No one else. This isn't relatable
Let's
to
hear
anyone. It's like when you watch like a fish set on YouTube and in the comments everybody's like, "This is a great Trey set."
It's great to watch Trey shine. Trey
Yeah.
Anastasio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or like I don't actually know the rest of the members of Fish. I'm a dead guy, but like
Trey's badass.
when they're or it'd be like watching and it's like, oh, this is a great Phil show.
You know what this
like
is?
just like the bassist, they're like, he's really fucking locked in.
This is like
killing
this
it.
is like on Kill 'Em All when Cliff Burton played Anesthesia pulling teeth when they just let him fucking solo on his bass, totally distorted, totally beautiful.
Yeah.
and you don't smoke weed.
I will never smoke
Bro,
weed.
the bass solo, real talk.
I will never smoke weed. I will eat bugs.
The only let me tell you something. The only thing that I'll smoke for the rest of my life is crab shit. It's the mustard and Maryland blue crabs.
And you just sucking on its face, lighting its asshole.
Oh yeah, dude. We used to make like pipes out of anything. We used to like carve holes in
Oh, yeah.
apples.
Yeah.
Smoke weed out of apples.
You could definitely smoke out of a crab shell, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, you could, dude.
I'm telling you guys, this needs to be an episode.
You can. You think we should put it all together?
I really do. I think
We
that
should
would be
start doing.
hilarious.
We should do a travel show. We should Burt Kreischer out.
Maybe
We go two places. We go the Severn River and we go Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
That would be sick. Oh, dude, I'll eat the shit out of Mothman's ass. I bet it tastes just like crab mustard. You know,
Yeah.
if the response to this episode is good enough, maybe we make this a free teaser or something.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
No, we said we talked too much shit.
Real talk
That's
though.
true.
Like
Yeah.
if you guys,
We can release just like a supercut of you eating bugs and yelling about eating shit.
Eating bugs, sucking crab shit down my gullet.
Yeah, chugging whiskey.
Imagine eating Mothman's ass. Nobody's brave enough to do it, but here's the thing. I bet that's the test of Mothman.
I bet the cheeks glow red too.
absolutely.
I bet his ass cheeks glow.
I guarantee
Menacing
you that
red.
his asshole glows like a like a celestial coal.
like a champagne supernova.
Like a champagne supernova. I guarantee you Mothman is waiting for somebody brave enough and true of heart to finally eat his ass, and that's when he'll finally, save us from
Dude, even
He'll build the bridge back.
He'll put the bridge back.
He'll repair the bridge.
this guy.
Mothman is so I've just
But I'll tell you something right now.
Yeah.
I'll eat Mothman's ass. I will never eat Bigfoot's ass. I will never eat the Jersey Devil's ass.
No.
First, folks.
I just want everybody to know where my allegiances a line.
My problem with like on the internet,
sorry.
you get into UFOs, you start reading threads, everything is like interconnected. So then
Yeah.
I'm just like I believe in every cryptid. Like
They're all real, Brendan.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for you guys. Seriously, you should do that. You should literally go because think about it.
A mukbang?
A mukbang and like even like you're talking about going to places and doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like even if nobody listens, what a fucking great time. You know what I mean?
I'm 100% with you.
It'd be great. It'd be fun. I'll go with you guys if you'll have me.
Oh, Kevin,
That would be sick.
Kevin,
I'm down.
we will Kevin, we'll take you with us across these wild
I hope we get to
beautiful-
do a West Coast live show. You'd be a great guest.
I'm down, dude.
Yeah,
down.
I would love to get some more fans on the West Coast so we could.
We
Just
do have the most listeners in California. Apparently, none of them book shows, but
Yeah, I wonder where the fuck they are.
yeah, I wonder.
Put it out, dude. Give people a month to buy tickets.
If we
and
had
just do it.
If we had you, because that's kind of our angle with Robbie and Lemaire. We're trying to like get some like crossover listeners from like Loud Boys and fucking Matt and Shane.
Yeah.
If we had you, we could get some crossover Loud Boys listeners.
100%. Yeah.
That'd be, maybe, dude, and maybe
Brain jail listeners?
Yeah.
Just sorry.
Yeah.
Brain jail listeners.
I
I'm so
got it.
sorry.
No, I got it.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if the pack still exists, but if we get like a small venue, like yeah, we could fucking get some people out.
I mean, dude, I'm telling you, the Oprah, dude, the secret, bro. Fucking build it, they'll come.
I'm all
Yeah.
about.
Also, the
that's
pack did close.
Yeah.
Well,
But the thing about it is, like,
the
if you
comedy store.
if you plan some shit out and you just fucking do it, even if it's a failure, if what you're doing is fun, fuck it. It was a blast.
All right, Kevin.
You know?
you're roped into this with us now, and if it fails,
Dude, I'm ready.
you're gonna be. The one
We
who
will be
comes out and
doing a
apologizes.
we will be doing a live podcast from Mia's Hot Dogs.
Dude,
Oh,
hell
how
yeah.
sick would that be, dude?
Hell yeah. I love eating. I'm a fat ass. I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to lose. Dude, I'm trying to lose some weight so my father doesn't poke my belly when I see him in July.
Dude,
I knew that had to be in.
100%.
You know,
Also, it sucks that like I just like feel bad like when like my girlfriend and I are together, she's in like very good shape, and I'm like not, and I'm just like this doesn't feel fair.
yeah, you don't have to be. You're the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They literally don't care.
I would like to be. I want. I was like in very good shape in my 20s, and I just like completely let go of it, and I would like to be in good shape again.
I just wanna get
close.
back into the shape.
It'd be easy. It'd totally be easy.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. I got a long way to go, though. I got the gout.
You got gout?
You have
I got
gout?
fucking gout,
No,
dude.
you
I
have
got
gout, dude?
Hell yeah.
What do you
I
have to
got
do
gout.
if you have gout? What do you
The
have to
King's
avoid?
disease?
Yeah, I don't.
You ate too many shellfish and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. I ate way too
that's
much
my
shrimp for a
problem.
long time, and I was drinking beer, and I kept having gout attacks. I'm on medication now; it's better, but yeah, my joints are still fucked up, so it's like hard to like
Oh,
jog.
does
and
gout
stuff.
fuck up your joints?
Big time.
This
yeah.
is all adding up for me.
I must have
fucked up
gout.
my knee today.
Well, you got the gout? No.
What else fucks up gout? Like, what else happens when you have gout?
So literally, it's your body's inability to process and eliminate uric acid. So usually, when people, you guys, we all eat a pound of shrimp that has a shit ton of uric acid in it, and it has a shit ton of purine in it. Purine, and your body produces uric acid as a byproduct of when it breaks down the purine. So then, most people piss out the uric acid. Me, the uric acid stays in my system, and it's heavy as shit. So it goes to the lowest extremities of your body, wherever that is. Sometimes it's in my wrist too. And then it forms uric acid splinters or needles. And so it's literally like having little knives in your joints. It's
Fuck.
Oh, okay.
It's
So I
brutal.
I don't have gout. Okay.
No. You would know it. Well, the first time I had gout, the only thing that made sense to me is that I was sleepwalking and that I must have broken both of my feet in the middle of the night because I went to the podiatrist. I couldn't walk.
Why did I think that gout was having like a fat neck or something?
That's a goiter.
Oh, that's it. It was goiter.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, gout
Goiter.
goiter.
We should get some of those.
Yeah, get some goiters, guys.
Imagine
Yeah.
me with a goiter.
Goiter
dude.
Boys.
If I had a
The new
goiter-
podcast.
Can I tell you something? If I had goiter, I would take it to a spring fair and I'd have people draw a face on it.
Hell yeah, you'd be like, "This is my twin."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How sick would that be as like a pitch for a show? It's like, all right.
Goiter boys.
So
Boys.
here's the podcast. We both have goiters. I rest my case.
What do you think? What do you think? We in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pee really quick since you did it earlier, and it
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like a permissible offense. Hang on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A permissible offense.
Oh, it's after midnight. Hope I hope my roommates aren't like texting me.
They're
no,
probably furious.
they're good.
We are at 2 hours and 5 minutes right now.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. How long are your Patreons usually?
Usually an hour.
Yeah.
But it's
Hell
usually just the two of us. So we usually do we usually don't record them back to back. We only do that when we have a guest.
Oh, dude, that's great. I'm down. I love podding. I really dig community, man. I just dig just being around people and just.
It's great because like I
around.
love hanging out with comedians, but I hate like being at comedy.
So same.
It's great being like, and comedians, I feel like they're so standoffish. I feel like it's great to have an excuse to be like, hey, come to my house and talk to me for an hour.
Yeah. Well, there's pressure not to fuck up the conversation too. When you're on camera, you're doing a podcast. There's a pressure to not be a piece of shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've always said like a conversation. The levels of conversations, like two people is a version of a conversation. You can get deep. It'll get emotional. You add a third person, it's a different dynamic. And then when you add 7 people, night and day, completely different. You're gonna call somebody gay. You know, like somebody might get their ass whooped. Like there's always weird. Like there's a weird dynamic when there's more people. But when there's the pressure of like, hey, we're performing. Like people kind of behave, you know. Like, which is good. Which is why I haven't said the N-word this entire time. Just the pressure.
Yeah,
that's why. Right now?
That's why we took that break.
I've just been waiting, just been waiting for my time. By the way, Kabir Singh says the N-word on his new special.
Who does?
Does he really?
Kabir Singh.
Who is that?
He's
Indian?
Relatively unknown. Yeah, Native American. He's a relatively unknown Indian comic. Yeah, but he just got a special, and he's been.
Did an Indian say the N-word?
I don't know, but he's all over Twitter, like condemning Tony Hinchcliffe for saying the chuz. And yeah. So it's pretty interesting.
I'm gonna try to tan enough till I can say the N-word.
Dude, honestly, no bullshit. Shave your face.
Yeah.
Get a tan. Start wearing a dress on stage. Don't address it. And
Right.
just say the N-word.
I'll be Nick Oldershaw, the N-word comic.
Yeah. No, Nikki Oldershaw.
Nikki, right? N-I-K-K-I.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
you're
putting a
absolutely
dress on gives you a lot
N.I.G. Oldershaw.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
It would have been funnier if I said it. I couldn't have gotten in trouble for that.
You're fine, dude. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I really need to fucking
Just
start.
you in blackface.
I would love. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing I would love more. No, I can't say that.
Oh my God.
I think we have to bring this to a close.
Yeah, because Nick is hammered drunk.
I'll cancel the podcast. I dare you to dare me not to do it. I'll do it.
What were you gonna say?
I'll say something to cancel the podcast.
Do it.
No, I can't do that.
I knew you couldn't.
I have too much invested in this.
I wanted to rename Brain Jail at one point, flirting with the N-word.
You wanted to do that?
Yeah. Just, not seriously, but yeah, I wanted, because it was like every podcast was like, is he going to say it? Is he going to say it? He's getting close.
Yeah. Your listeners waited for one of you to say the N-word the same way that like everybody watched like Friends and they're like, are Ross and Rachel going to get together?
Like, he's so close. He's been saying it.
Yeah.
Just soft A. Just do a soft A. Come on. Oh man. So good.
They were shipping you to say the N-word. They were slave shipping you.
Dude, that's the next level of stand-up comedy is like you just get booked around the country just to get on stage and say the N-word. Like, I'll say it,
dude.
I'll fucking say it in your town.
That's gonna be amazing.
Book
It's
me.
gonna be like seeing like a tightrope walker or something.
Yeah. He's gonna say the N-word, and guess what, folks? Nobody's gonna be upset. This guy is a wordsmith. I'm telling you, he's brilliant.
I think there'll be like a Cirque du Soleil version of it where you dress up like a sad clown and just say the N-word in Vegas, and everyone's like, "Ooh."
Dude, in Fresno, because all my writing partners were black. I remember one of my buddies, good friend, Kenny, still a good friend. I haven't talked to him for a while, but we're very good friends. No, but I remember him telling me, He's like, you should try to figure out how to write a joke where you can say the most racist joke you've ever heard, like a racist
Wait a minute, hang on,
street
really
joke.
quick. All your writing partners are black?
Yeah, in
They
Fresno.
can write? I'm sorry.
You piece of shit.
Sorry.
And a woman. One was a woman.
What they hand you a piece of paper with a big X on it?
No, but he's
I
like,
wrote a sketch. It's just a bunch of little X's.
dude,
This is very racist.
there were some sketches that, because we would write sketches together too, where it would be like, I'd be the only white guy in the room and be like, guys, we can't say this. We can't. We really. They're like, what are you fucking talking? We're all black. Like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. And then
I'm supposed to. It's like reaching for the check when someone else is paying.
Yeah, right.
You're supposed to pretend,
Yeah.
but nobody expects you
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
Real talk though, when I moved to LA, I remember there was 3 jokes that I had that I was like, I had gotten the green light from my writing team. It was all black. And a Hispanic guy. I want to be forthcoming on this, confessional. But there was 3 jokes that I remember were like, I wrote them and everybody died. Like when I was like sharing, I was like, is this good? And they're like, dude, that's fucking good. That's hilarious. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if I can get away with it. They're like, dude, you have to do. That's so funny. And then I moved to LA and I tried to do some of those jokes. Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Not happening at all.
Absolutely.
I
not.
remember, and I did this at some mics out here, pretty much just like the VFW and like Fourth Wall shit like that.
Yeah.
But I remember very confidently, because it always went well in Philly, very confidently going up at some, it wasn't lyric, but it was like bordering on that.
Yeah.
And doing my opener about like, oh, I saw this really racist Chinese guy today.
Oh, yeah.
He was so racist, he said the N-word with a hard L.
Dude, that's a good joke.
I remember.
And it's just fun. I'm like, oh, I can't come back here.
Dude, I had that joke that I wrote. I was my intention was to write a Cat Williams joke, and the joke was when you date a bitch who's such a size queen that you have to fuck her with her own baby, which is like the most.
Oh my God.
And I tried so hard to get it off the ground here. I could not. And then I like went back to Baltimore for like 2 weeks. Integral part of my set. It crushed every show that I did of that.
No, the whole thing started out because he said, tell me you're the most racist joke that you've ever heard. And the only one I could think of was, why don't black guys like blowjobs? Because black guys don't like any jobs. That was, and I remember telling that, and I'm in a writer room. They're all, they laugh or whatever. And he's like, dude, he's like, put that into a joke. Like, put that into a joke. And so then I did. Then I was like, I ran into a racist guy, told me a racist joke. It's weird to be not racist and have somebody tell you a racist joke. What do you do? This guy walks up to me. He says, how come black guys don't like blowjobs? I go, why, you racist piece of shit? And he goes, because black guys don't like any jobs. And I was like, oh, and then the crowd, dude, I remember crowds. Crowds would be like, like lose their shit. And then I would say, well, how many black guys have you blown? I mean, how do you know this?
Oh, I see.
And then I go, is this a scientific experiment? Did you blow like 100 black guys, 100 white guys, 100 Asian guys? Were you blowing all these dudes? Maybe it wasn't about black guys not liking blowjobs. Maybe it was more about you being really bad at blowing black dudes.
What? Okay,
you ever think about that? And it was like, dude,
the way you
it's a
flip
Rubik's
it,
cube.
the way you flip it is really, because I think when you said that initially, I assumed that black guys don't like giving blowjobs. Which I would assume is because black guys are homophobic, but it's because they don't like any job. But maybe I misinterpreted the joke.
It's a street joke. It's like a total
It's
street
very
joke.
funny.
Yeah.
But do you think that well, there's no way you could just say the straight joke in Los Angeles. But like even as I'm listening to that, it's like there's a lot of justifying this joke up
Yes.
front.
Well, that's all I was doing, because I was literally trying to figure out as a writing challenge to like say a racist joke on a set and still have it work. And that was
A racist street joke. And then we see your next set and you're like, what do you call a black astronaut?
What do you call black astronaut?
I'm not going to finish the joke.
I don't remember.
Dang it! I wanted to know the
I used to.
punchline.
You know what's funny? I used to know this. This is like long division for me. I'm like, I know that I at one point.
I know some Maryland uncle has told me this.
Dude, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
but if I could position it, because I was, for a long time, I was writing jokes that were like, I'm aware of racism. I'm aware of all the stereotypes. So when I see stereotypes lived out in front of me, how do I respond? Like that was my place of like humor.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I had bits about like real stories of like a black guy showing up to work with a full watermelon on his shoulders. and then me being like aware that that was a racial stereotype, feeling uncomfortable with even knowing that that existed. And then the guy goes, you'll love it. It's a seedless watermelon. And in my mind, I'm like, I shouldn't love it because I know it's not seedless. I know it has white seeds in it, and I shouldn't like that. That should be bad. And then he cuts it open and he goes, oh man, my bad. It actually is not seedless. It's got the seeds in it. And I look down, I see the black seeds. I go, oh, I actually prefer the black seeds. I actually honestly wish I wish they were blacker, and I wish there was a lot more seeds in here. And that was like the place I would write from. And my writing partners, which is insane. Yeah. But my writing partners would be like, this is fucking great. Like I would get the stamp of approval from a room of black people, and then try to do it, and people would be like, "Boo!" Like, oh man.
Well, I still think this is so funny. And Alice Hamilton won't do it. But she was telling me about, and I think she said this on her episode, but she was telling me about her like great however many times great grandfather was a slave, and his job is he was like a stud horse, like he just fucked the women slaves to get them pregnant because he was like so big and strong. And the bit I tried to do about that is I was like, oh, my friend was telling me about like her, it's like, you think 1865 rolled around, he's like, now hold on. I don't think we need to rush things too much. Maybe we can ease our way into not being like.
I love that they were breeding like stronger, angrier slaves, like just being like, there's no way this is going to end.
They're like, well, why are you doing this? It's like, well, someday there's going to be this thing called the NFL.
A quick twitch.
Yeah.
We're doing this for quick twitch.
It's so dangerous though. Like, I mean, because growing up, I didn't think about it just because my friends, we were a collective of different races. It wasn't a thought. So then the jokes would happen or whatever. I'd make fun of my buddy for being too dark or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you dark.
Because like, you're treating people of other races like they're equals and not like you need to condescend to them.
I mean,
100%.
It's funny. Like there's a flip side though, like having an Asian girlfriend and having a family who's like grown up in like a white suburban town and like never been outside of white people. They will never to her, but to me, make jokes about her race. And it's like, yeah, but you guys aren't good at it. Yeah. Like, when you do it,
they're just like, don't let your girlfriend drive, huh, Nick?
Yeah, no, it's worse than that.
It's
dude.
worse.
That would be funny. They literally just say shit to me where it's like, you guys didn't do the joke part. It's just being racist. And
they're like, oh, was your girlfriend born or was she made in a lab?
Dude, have you guys heard that Bobby Lee story about going to visit his girlfriend's parents?
No, what happened?
So Bobby Lee goes to visit his girlfriend's parents, and they're white. His girlfriend's white, and he shows up. It was like Thanksgiving or something. And when he shows up, the entire family, like they've got like hanging lamps with Japanese writing on it. And they're all wearing kimonos.
Oh,
when
Jesus.
He shows up, and they're all like bowing to him and stuff, like as a bit, like they were like fucking with him the whole time.
Oh my God.
Well, he tells the story as like kind of an endearing story, like he was not mad about it or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, they would just like make these little jokes. I thought it was the funniest shit ever.
I mean, like,
I thought that was like.
They were earnestly,
liberal or like liberals trying to like be sensitive.
They were fucking with him.
Well,
they were
like,
fucking with him big time. Like but joking, being like, we're aware that these things, we're trying. It's the joke is they're trying to overcompensate for the fact that he's, Asian or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And he got it, which is amazing.
My girlfriend and I will make racial, like on both sides, we'll make racial jokes to each other, but it's because we're in like an intimate relationship and we trust each other like that. But like my parents, like when the last time she visited, which was like for Christmas, my dad was like, oh yeah, like I thought it'd be funny if like we put out like chopsticks at all the dinner plates, like when we have dinner for the first time. And I'm like, yeah, don't do that, please. That's really not funny. Like, you guys have never been funny. This is definitely not the swing you want to take.
They're like, no, come on, Nick. When she gets here, let's throw her in the ocean. Because she's a woman, I'm like, no, don't.
So it's like there's a very hard. It's almost like you want to like tell regular people like, hey, like if you're not doing comedy, maybe you're not fucking qualified to make these jokes towards different groups of people.
Sure.
Like maybe it's not gonna come. Maybe you don't have the finesse to do it.
But at the same time, like I I mean, I don't know if this showing my ignorance or whatever. I don't fucking know. Who cares? Patreon. But like, I do hope that there will be a society in the future where it's not fucking weird and we can joke about shit.
Absolutely.
And it's not like, it's not automatically, oh, this person's racist, he wants me dead because of my race, or whatever the automatic like knee-jerk reaction that the left or whoever seems to have a problem with.
Right.
Where it's like, look, like you said, oh, you were treating him like a human being who's an equal that you can actually talk to and like joke about stuff and not like treat him like coddling them like they're like this some baby because they can't handle it.
Well, I guess the difference is like my family is like it's completely willing to like make those observations and like joke about like other races, but like if you do anything like remotely like mocking or critical of like white people, they're like, oh come on, and it's just like no,
fuck
you
off.
guys have to fucking, if you're gonna do this to everybody else, you gotta fucking take it when it's done to you.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in that.
I don't know what
it's gotta be level playing field.
Yeah, well, I don't know what comic said it. It's like, oh, you were laughing when it wasn't about you. Now it's about you. You're offended. Like, fuck off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
That
It's all
shit
jokes.
sucks. Yeah.
It's all jokes. Like, it's...
Yeah, well, that's why comedy's moving to a point where there are no jokes at all. So that argument doesn't
you
work.
Can't, listen, you can't be doing jokes, okay?
No jokes.
That's, if you do a joke, if you're on stage at Lyric Hyperion and you do a joke, the only thing I want to see is you eating crab shit out of your sketch partner's asshole, okay?
That's right.
That's the only acceptable joke.
A new original voice in comedy.
They're just deathly sick.
Welcome to Ass Eaters, folks. We'll start out the show. I'll be eating a creme brulee out of Brendan's ass here.
How awesome would it be if comedy just like progressed to a point where like the only unoffensive comedy was like German shit porn?
Oh my God.
Future's looking bright, guys.
It's looking beautiful. Beautiful. Now just keep creating shit. Keep trying. Keep throwing it out there. Get canceled. Who the fuck cares? It's publicity.
I think that's I feel like
Pang
you're joking,
Dang's
but
taught us anything.
Yeah.
It's that there's no bad publicity.
I do think it's like we're reaching a point where it's like once you realize, and it's funny, man, on the 6-hour walk today that I had from Echo Park to
We
Beverly
keep
Hills,
referencing that like it's not insane.
I did it.
On my daily 6-hour walk.
It's not daily. I did it because I wanted to see how far I could go. Honestly, because I love walking Sunset.
That's the same reason I do racist jokes.
You wanted to see how far you
I
go.
want to see how far I can get.
Well, I love like not having a car. I love to like walking Sunset. I really feel like in touch with the city, and like I've always really romanticized LA. But more than ever on these walks that I've had, even this one where I fucked up my knee, I've really felt a sense of like this city's irrelevance and kind of like the industry like dying and fleeing and just not being the titan that it was for the past 80 decades or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Or 8 decades, not 80 decades, 8 decades. I drank
For 8,000 years, Hollywood.
I drank 3 bugs. but I did really get this sense while I was walking, like, okay, like everything that this city and industry has built itself up to be, it's like it's dissipating, and even the industry here like doesn't really know what to do. So like, yeah, fucking do, like, get canceled, do whatever, find your audience. You can find as legitimate avenues of success doing that than you could have waiting for somebody to tap you on the shoulder and be like, you're ready.
Absolutely. And how much fucking money do you need? You don't need that much.
If 6 figures a year, not even that. Honestly, like you could live happily with 5 figures a year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you don't live in Los Angeles.
Yes, if you live outside anywhere else.
Yeah. Like if this Patreon continues to increase, it's like eventually it's like I'm almost like, what if I just moved to the cheapest place ever?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that was the Tim Dillon move. That was the thought.
But you know what's funny? You don't even have to, because it's like, dude, when I visit my girlfriend in Chicago, it's like she lives in an apartment nicer than most places I've lived, and she pays a fucking fraction of what I live to live in a shithole.
Yeah.
It's like you can live in a cool place that's like a cultural mecca with a lot of history and a lot of cool shit to do, and you don't have to pay crazy prices.
Yeah. Yep. I ain't moving. I'm still trying.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this as like a I don't mean to completely shit on the place where you live, Kevin. That's not what I'm trying to do.
I mean, you live here too, Yeah,
completely. Yeah.
No, I totally get it. But yeah, I can't move till my kids graduate high school, and I am still holding out hope that something will happen. Like,
Well,
there's
it should.
still
You're very
will.
funny.
possibility of something happening, but I don't know.
There's
Slowly losing hope.
No, I'm sorry. I feel like this conversation has taken like a negative turn now. That's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to say like when you feel hopeless because you feel like there's no path for you like in the traditional industry. If you're good, which you are, you're one of the funniest people I know.
Thank you.
And let me I drank 3 bugs. I'm very honest. I wouldn't bullshit you in this moment of my life.
I appreciate that.
Those were truth bugs.
Those were bugs. Those were. Let me tell you something. Those were insects of truth. We love the truth insects. Some of the
bugs in the
greatest
world.
bugs of all time. 17 years. The bugs emerge. I eat them. I'm very truthful.
I've eaten all the bugs, believe me.
I've eaten. Believe me,
Believe
nobody's
me,
eaten more bugs than me.
Top-notch bugs.
But there's no way that somebody fucking as charismatic and likable and as funny as you will not find a path to success.
hope so.
And Kevin Tinkin, I'm saying that to you, and I fucking mean it.
Well, I appreciate that. And the goal is, and I think the admonition to the listeners that you're putting out there is like, fucking try. You know what I mean?
Fucking do it. There's a even if it feels impossible, there's a way for you to do it.
Yeah. There's avenues. You'd have to move to Los Angeles and suck some 70-year-old dude's cock.
Right.
You can just
You don't need to
put
let
out a podcast.
a Jewish guy plant a beanstalk in your pussy if you want to be successful. That might be what some people did, but that's not the only way.
Yeah, I mean, there's unique paths for everybody. Jack, Jack and the Beanstalk, that old tale.
It's antiquated.
I got 3 magic beans from this guy in the store. He said I had to put them in your pussy and we'd be millionaires. I don't know what to do, but he wants to cast me in this next movie about Independence Day. I don't know what it is, but I'm so excited. Come on, get over here.
Brendan, have I lost my mind?
We're here to tell you that you can plant a seed in your own ass. You don't need a producer to do that for
That's
you.
right, 100%.
Yeah.
Stop waiting for the oligarchs to tell you can plant a seed in your ass and just do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's right.
Point at the camera with
Let
us.
me tell you something. If you're waiting, let me tell you something.
Stop waiting.
If you're waiting for a Jewish guy to plant things in your pussy, you're a dope. You're a dope and a loser.
Should we stop podcasting?
We should not even be on the air right now. I'm sorry.
Dude, I want to watch. That space documentary with you guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
What's that one?
The unacknowledged space.
Oh,
doc-
unacknowledged. I'll watch that tonight. I'll watch this tonight while I'm
right.
still drunk.
I'm
off the
gonna
bugs and
end the
whiskey.
podcast, then we can just have a conversation.
All right, nice.
Before you end the conversation, I want to say I'm so excited to see you're doing stand up again and getting after it again, because when you took a break, I was bummed.
Oh,
'Cause
thank
I think
you.
You're a unique talent. Nick, of course, the same. But I'm excited. I think there's great things for both of you guys in the future.
My skill is not stand up. My skill is drinking bugs and telling you what I really think.
All right.
Bug Truth.
Hell yeah.
Podcast.